Well, we have my mama. Good evening. I'm Mama Kwaba. Jasu Jumedi Eso. You're live on OK 101.7 FM. So yes, our live or High Life Radio and Virginia. You're live also Kings Jersey Radio. And you're live. Migachu FM Okukren to me. Almost pick here live. And an Aspa Radio Kuku Spence and any team. UK approach me. Almost epic here live. Ko France and Belgium so live Adamfupa media. Nti baby Ghana across the world we ultimate issue. Ultimate issue. Jasu issue no. Ya from me bim lady afia pokuya. Nti mama good evening na mama wakwaba. And then what we'll do is to look at 2024 elections no. And the whole of this year that will be the major issue. Yebeka ehwasem. Let me person me pull up some kind of video because I'm expecting to see more creative kind of, for instance, NDC ni MPP. And let me A studio. My mama, good evening. The first to show up, A studio, YouTube. Good evening. Now say so. Say if you're welcome. Now say me chow salute what two top people almost show up. Just show ni start here. No matter. Thank you so much. Right. And I was thinking, say say what you me Facebook cry. Ube who say gone too soon. Where you from? Nanu ya obatan lady ba Priscilla ni kunu kura wo ye kunafo widow ono aso awu agya ne market wa miensa panyin kura wo mu ye teenager onu ba bia enti hwan na behwe nkola no. And the thing that I want to make a political issue is say NDC ni MPP na mo na madikan in the political space mo na mabetna oman yi so da out of Ghana 60 something years ye dey independent no emu half NDC ni MPP and amatna akonwa so. I think a brass will say was some of my health a major issue of Ghana. Health. It was some of my health a major issue. Ghana pomudin was them. Near Jaisi the health yet too much of politics no. And I'm Mahama they see rage. And I'm Mahama they see University of Ghana. And I'm Mahama they see a friend saying Bank of Ghana Hospital. And I'm Mahama they see Maritime Hospital. And another agenda 111 hospitals. And away na say and a drone delivery of a neuronia de. I think yantu yabo may find your politics because seriously enipa ewu no asem we amike we the oya branch and ababa for any two for another asem we meboa. Young people are dying. Na me person me project here we no be ehu. I mean there are young people in this week even na make can say we are not making this a national issue. But these are the things that are affecting me no. Se wo ti Kumasi anase wo ti Nkran na wo ti tema anase wo ti Kede yare bi bebo obi anabi kwa bo obi wo wabusuamu da anadu obi BP kosoro yemfa ne ko hospital lady ya make a Priscilla me homfa me ko hospital team. Healthcare is a major issue. Ghana no abroche nya healthcare nya 100%. Me medical catch am dada say me yare wa abroche ya de me ko hospital ko muti me nya emergency me ti wana me wu no omusi me nya emergency. Go you see nyina ye hu obi aso obi asmile ni ade foot obi aye okay. Not everybody is okay sir. Enyo obi no ye okay sir. Ye nyina yare hyehye ye ho ne nam wo no Nyankopon adom no ma ade kye. But Ghana de owo bi wo ho no ma wu out to say enye nipa ne time. But because ye need proper healthcare system. Enye nipa ne time. BP kum krofo de bia bata broche BP nshada kum krofo sa. There are people who to me brain hemorrhage no ma survive or broche. But ye Ghana kwa de. But there's also another issue where also politicians here call elections muno. They must make it a major election issue. Nutrition. I didn't when I courage because she got started so oh yeah. Tim papa ne de call you know. And you are near koye ni pedu me ne kokolebu. Me doctor say kokolebu to me from mom say if you 19-year-old boys a stroke. 19-year-old young men stroke. Kidney. 19 kidney stroke. Yet Ghana no bia pesika. Ya say Ghana nkwane the Nigerians say back Ghana they be almost in Ghana heaven. Tio me asem way America is not political because me bon penny for kete o we will go into security issues near there about we makacha mo no last week say ya back to 2024 about we na at least nipa 15 the oma die. Me pete me kan brofo kwa ma brofo nate. Na 2015 na nipa 15 the no oma die because yeah ya be ma ya ni ada ho. Na yakase politicians let their children go and fight. The people who want to help us, no, they be any do matter. They be am de shatawale examples. Minus atem didi na ya shatawale didi atem no. Niama bebre wo kan true. Ghana eniema wo se hia ye ne ye bo man no obi aka no krepe onye umuade uye se ni abrando ni ato asem na twene. So they throw you away with the message na o ka no. Se chatawale ka se yenhwe ye musicians ni adem ka ne bone. Iye no de kosa akode ni Stone Boys ne ho no na me ne nya adem, but some of the things he say very true. Ghana na yesi a village no, because yen Ghana for na yadwene ne village no enye kro no oman na yetim de enye village. Na mom Ghana yen yadwene e diti kro mo na ye village no, den na shata kan ye no. Because near me here it is a help. And then obi a wo tie me bia unue bia ko hospital mo wawuda. Wa utumu so wo we should no. Last a couple of weeks ago, lady be friend me, Auntie Perpetua. Ne wo fa ase tema come to 10. Omo nim so okọ adwuma po mo ko hwe na wo collapse wo dem. Ye ne ko hospital a na akọ akọ asem. Ye enuane a ye di ye te Ghana mo bia ye advert. Advert e was Food and Drugs Board wo law. Media house say ye what the advert be buy ye Food and Drugs Board certificate and say ye advert. But some people are doing it. Koko dro bia ye dro or ye yam nim tree cry na hedges cry no or say ye dro and nobody is monitoring. Ya done ye mema what Ghana into guinea pigs. Yeah, it's me. I'm saying this because of a member. Remember, money the so Ghana member. Yeah, nani member what Ghana into guinea pigs. Bibia na osi simbe yeding. Bibia na osi simbe. Ade. Iti yang kwa ye here sisimoding. Ko bibini won kwa na ope sisimoding. Just a one tina kumasi ke mu ana trotro ke mu ana baby radio station bi amu antisi esi to simoding obeto. And you are bombarding with kidneys. Ghana member bebre nya kidney no mo. Politicians must make this a national issue. Ye hu agenda for national health. Ghana pomoding and nya diabetes and diabetes, BP, cancer, and 3 top killer diseases in Ghana. I did when 50 years ago, 9 years on it yet. 3 top killer diseases in Ghana: diabetes, BP, cancer, and only near market because BP now a cover kidney no bano. BP no also cry the saturated diabetes ne bano. Ye ni ani aye di nyina anka Nyankopon dia ma banku fufuo apesie abomu ne atete tafre abobitade ne edi da bi ye jai ye nyina apese ye ho anwamo ne ye sesare no nutrition ene ne ma ye ne hia ne ha me kwa ye sa ensa no ne koko aduro no ne busadi pane say aduro we is it verified by FDA one kasa no ma ho hia. So that is where I want politicians to check it. The other issue I'm a say was a year come one sem elections here. I could discreet, you know. Now, no police ni penny back because say, or more police for manage election. You can manage this election. If you hear soldiers now, thank God, they say police service now have a dissociated from Adiano. Because there's no way Ghana police service alone can run security in election. And it's serious. Ghana election na make us say the Shatawale ka Ghana village ni e krono enyo man no ye adwene ni ye village ntino nipa ye dan ya de ho be kwakoshem when it is none of our business. Our job is koto abano policy come back and sit home or the obejina ho agina ho na monitor. Other advanced countries ni epesi esuom no they don't do things like that. And so yan kwa ye de. And this is why it's very important. Let me show you this when we are going into these elections, especially NDC and MPP for no more decline. The danger of this election is about way. So Obia can say do or die, indeed you do or die. About way you do or die. Look at this resource. This is the NDC and MPP 2020 elections. No, all the areas now who na ye blue ni MPP, areas who na ye green ni NDC. And take this. Once I green, it does to change blue. No, that's when people won the election. It means that now this one, my NDC for say over voter region votes. Now for a year, friend saying 3 northern regions. No, even the infants or the Indian region by region for voter region. I say the infant Savannah region. Never Ashanti region votes. And no going to me neutralizing regions where say 3 votes. And that is why MPP all do who say Osha map on a blue no endorsement to say green. But then MPP won the elections. It's because numbers ne free one. It said America 4 year elections are almost free be electoral college. Because almost vote to be almost signing to every state. Into every state, depending on the dynamics, there or more rather a different America there. Or more maybe anyone may follow normal logic. It be a different or more level. Yeah, yes, simple a friends a 50+1. Yeah, electoral college. But then this is when you're 50. 50, unya 49 crown win your second round. And that is why this election is heading towards. Yeah, elections way, 2024 elections way. It is heading towards a second round, a second round. Me ma predict it, me and your prophecy, me ni adagio for sa prophecy, me nyamini pasa, me level, me level, ataba for nipa, me nyamini pa level. What do I say? And green doors, but the total number of votes in a areas na NDC strong no and also. And we are NDC there. Now we are sure say open party winning. And now MPP near we are sure pass up party winning. This calls for work. And yet they and yet trending. And yet video hunu. A strategy. Because if you go to the regional breakdown, no some of the regional areas, no. Now regions, no cry. For instance, a form cry now qua. You can see say NDC near MPP. You even from 1992, NDC has been kind of reducing. And every time BIA won't say NDC and I say MPP. Omube increasing no MPP vote to swat. NDC increasing vote no so MPP for the better aba form. It is very, very important. So say no one quite how bet me first one let me take you to Ashanti region. Said about party for in bet me appreciate it. This is Ashanti region. Let me go up. Me mama Ashanti region. This is Ashanti region. So Ashanti region, if you look at even the map, blue no dorsum. NDC near Kakrebi, but let's go and look at the actual numbers. Osha actual numbers no. You will see say I say but to the anchor form ho. Osha form now what 1996, 2000 elections, 2004, 2008, 2012, 2016, and a friend saying 2020. 2016 NDC even MPP vote in 2016 election was 76.3%. 2020 76.3%. Show the same MPP no. 2020 no MPP for vote no conform in Ashanti region 72.8%. 2 MPP ni now the offer say oba be fire Mahama kwa. You will not win. Look at the map. Osha map no. In 2016 elections no MPP the omukoso we hu o so mo wosoro 76.3. 2020 MPP had dropped it 72.8. This is the time I was MPP investigation. No why the vote dropped. MPP MPP Ashanti target Ashanti region so befa running mate. They'll look at Ashanti region to pick the running mate because they are thinking that running mate if you Ashanti region he will increase the vote. But what they are not taking into consideration with is the fact that NDC 2016 vote Ashanti region drop 23%. But 2020 that is why NDC as was suma unkofobi no multi social media no more here Ashanti region. And Asante for ye tribalistic. No more did you attempt. Now no yet me abema bobi audio be about here more Asante for wrong move by NDC. Wrong, absolutely wrong move. Because in Ashanti region alone, 2016 NDC now 23%. In 2020, NDC climbed to 26.5%. And looking at the numbers of Ashanti region Kwano with the population last statistical service report Ashanti region kuta 5.7 million. 5.6 million. Greater Accra region kuta 5.6 million. So NDC to me increasing the vote from 23% 2016 to 26.5%. That's the NDC to me they call for 30%. NDC is heading towards win. NDC is heading towards win because you know why I'm saying that? I'm saying that because I say Greater Accra region. Said the be a Greater Accra region, NDC ni MPP beche. Greater Accra region, a whole middle class of folk Accra near war more Ghana no more. It's Greater Accra region, the NDC ni MPP on beche. Let's look at Greater Accra region. A swing seat say. Sa region, a swing seat say. Fancy for me a sharp kwa. Omuni rough. They know they play. This is central Greater Accra region. Mako Central region, Greater Accra region. 1996 Kwa Rollins war MPP for only 43%. Greater Accra region call for no. Any Asante for any settlers, settler, northerners, Obiegu Accra, Kokoma Market, everybody's in Accra. This is how NDC started. You know, 96 there. Now ballot box no crowd here, Abyssinia, we don't know. But then called 2000 President Kufo winning, you know. Now MPP votes now by 53.1% in Greater Accra region alone. In Greater Sometimes NDC they are not so about 42.1%. This is Greater Accra region. Let me take you to 2004. 2004, President Kufuor 2004, that was President Kufuor's second term. The same thing. And there are two MPP for say. Even President Kufuor's second term is slightly different from Nanado's second term because President Kufuor ne approval ratings the second term that was better than Nanado dey. Nanado dey the reshuffle for me idea ya say okache say oye my and that's even bad communication. Into communication for Matisse and me boss and me bra penny there Kwaku Sechiado me wafa or in fact I think Kwaku Sechiado cry some kind of consultants in the office of the president. They better listen to him. They better listen to Kwaku Sechiado, office of the president, because people about their communication. They Kwaku Sechiado, Fatima to Abubakar. These are your people. For Fatima to Abubakar, some no kind of cry nyakra assistant. No, just say she's so good. Ni demeanor, ni persona, and in human relations. One. Ubu fukra obejo. Fatima to Abubakar. So they better listen to him. If we are serious, more about to be a winner, you better listen to her. Any Kwaku Sechiado, but let me take you. This is 2004 President Kufuor second term. No, vote to know 2000. No, SLP by from 51.7%. NDC from 2000 elections now no money go as now Rollins time yeah no. NDC to me grow from 42.1% to 46% in 2004. President Kufuor second term. The last time now free one and another year candidate no. Although no money 51.7 no. MPP for no teba form in 2008 at a no say no any second round no 46. And that was when people were saying say Nanado persona okay so time no be him say Nanado there or Nana Tutujagu. Me wa Ghana for now so sometimes I will say check here because Nanado Tutujagu ni ba I must one penno. Look at the vote you gave Nanado 47%. Because more than sometimes they were saying, and I was a journalist reporting on elections at the time, say, Atamil's personality, no, and then Nanado the boy bra. Atamil's you're cool and collected, calm, as from Nanado Sudi and Nana Tutujagu the first. Or boom, kumi preko Nanado. And that is the kind of Nanado so I can nay and confess your peta kind of Nanado. Timo Ghana for no more peday. Nanado yet to Tujagu no man to a man, more than 46%. And then why soft na video? Musi akokrano who dementia and akokrano who so and akokrati. That's just by the way. But this is 2008, 52.1% NDC for the winning election. So they've crossed 50% plus one. MPP ended up in 46, and that's the elections here called time. You to abandon 3 times. 2012, MPP lose you na copy of Supreme Court no. Now NDC vote no from 52.1% no. NDC has climbed it. Echo 52.3%. And that was the history that NDC created. Because from a friend say Atamils to Mahama, because there was a change, because Atamils free move or Kwemu. NDC at the time they only managed to add only 0.9% to their vote. That is MPP for. From 46%, no, they came to 46.9% in 2012. That is why MPP for can be about 20 years. About to be a year. You baby, I'm quite plus 100,000 minus 100,000 be. Now you money the money mu. And this in MPP money mu. And this is greater Accra region specific. When you're national, greater Accra region specific. And dynamics baby woman and my dear way NDC MPP aba. Ebini Okoboy constituency. It's part of the greater Accra region. Into your party full soldier. These are the figures. You must acquaint yourself. Party full soldier and just better and now didn't go over them. They say a terms acquaintance level. No, in 2016, Greater Accra region and 2016 MPP for the bar. Look at where MPP went to from 46.9% to 52.4%. MPP kon and NDC are dropping from 52 NDC one NDC about 46.7%. And that is why 2016 NDC for Ghana and I'm media for and I'm losing. I always tell them say coin thinking more bon. You must upgrade your knowledge. About to be a follow 2 terms. There's a trend to be a who Ghana say and Greater Accra region there a game of chess. No map a big Greater Accra region. Go Greater Accra region no be a one BBD. The oya should make a power pa. Mi okada boy kwaku obia ko hoso no apenedua na adio. Ti Greater Accra region to win tonk of widen papa. Ahanya krase no abeto obi adwene. Obi ani da ho. Oto why sort 1p onim say 1p no oto no. Okoto no 1 cedi po beto tiaw because when to manage system ni ye. That is what is affecting Baumia now. He needs to answer these questions. This is Greater Accra region. 2020 elections, no, now NDC grow in Greater Accra region. And this is where I was saying before more money down. And NDC must also solidify Sadia way. Because 51% in Greater Accra region, NDC. MPP are dropping from 52% no munya 2016 no about 48.1. And prime minister MPP for and this is one of the reasons why they said prime minister to candidate on between bridges agab no. Say 51 for NDC, 48 for MPP. How do they break the gap? This is Greater Accra region. Let me take you to a voter region. But in all this, we check it. The whole total vote. First, a Greater Accra region. What's your number? MPP for Eluzu minus 4.3% in Greater Accra region 2020 election. NDC gaining plus 4.4. What's that? About to be a money dawa because NDC some money dawa this kind of games that they were making elections where you can win. But when to me and coordinating with the elections, coalition squad went to me and how do you blame anybody? Greater courage. This is the gains NDC made. If it's going to follow the same norm, not the NDC, the 4.4% come with Greater courage now. They are heading towards a win. They are heading towards a win. But when they better, so I much them say elections were a second round. This is Greater courage. An election in 2016, this whole map of Greater Accra region was looking saying blue. Elections year 2020 near Daniel Beye green. NDC has taken over Greater Accra region. This is Greater Accra region. Inti one more when you are now analysis ni year more party. Now for say the obey and call for now the anymore. You are election here more mass. A calculation thinking outside the box. Any issues about me abo amame fan cover water region na me remember you were a year now on share a year first security team. That's why elections way akoye do or die no. This is the reason why elections way akoye do or die. Now don't let your name be in the die session. Mema udi enko die session. Ya ma osika se den bati mahama onanado obi anyone man ba wo mtie. Great a voter region kwa MPP were for 14.1%. The whole MPP are real voter rate. And 14 in crown is because of Amewu. Amewu MPP for 14.1% votes now. Amewu di buy no and a northern voter because even 2020 elections to crown one MPP are creative raging. Ama oti raging crowd they couldn't even grow that much. Ever voter and of course that's why it's understandable. Voter region is a slightly homogeneous region kakra. Dynamics na what Ashanti region Greater Accra region maybe neat voter region. It's almost like the same kind of people. And more Ashanti region and manfra for bebre wo into to mean control bia say obianto and mouse. What I say, but even NDC crown that should be NDC must watch out in voter region because NDC kind of color now if you voter region a lose because I say what NDC moi I be for sign the front line him jama fifi kwete pe omunyina ko back. And so NDC must work on it. Say, who achieve regional balance. You also don't lose your base. But 84.8% look at NDC now voter region. And in terms of numbers, look at the number. The total number of 84.8% NDC Kutano, 606,424. 606,424. If I take it to Ashanti region, now Mami fan call, ways to voter region. NDC 84.8% the cry ahead. 600,000. Or the infant 600,000 plus. Let me take you to a Ashanti region near here. MPP numbers now omukuta or hono. Say no homa. Which actual numbers that you are dealing with? Okay. So if I take you to Ashanti region, MPP kuta 72.8. And this is the difference between Ashanti region and voter region. Who's a voter region? NDC kuta 80% plus. But Ashanti region MPP 4 point to me across 80%. So Tina make sure say one man from baby you know be everybody you go feel control. And Mahama Kwakuta 26.5% in Ashanti region. Now make us the cut 30 crowd or cross elections no ako winning no. The total volume in terms of numbers now. Nana Dukuta with 72% in Ashanti region. No. 1,793,629 votes. 1,793,629. This is Ashanti region. That is why you don't play with Ashanti region. You don't play with Greater Accra region. Mami Sanfa ko Greater Accra region. Nti we NDC ni na masuma nkofo ni bi. Nkofo ni be bra social media mu claim so mu yed mama NDC no. They are destroying NDC. They are destroying NDC. Because with this kind of juicy number of 1 million plus votes, you You don't play. Because even 26% na NDC kuta wa Ashanti region no kra. More than the vote, 80% vote no munya of voter region. Even 26.5% na NDC kuta wa Ashanti region no. It is more than the total number of votes they are getting in voter region. 26% no 652,962. This is almost 700,000 votes with just 26.5%. Oh, the NDC call a showdown walk no. Into what one now say NDC yen target Asante for yen dio matem yen dio tum fatem. Yes, no. You are killing yourself. You are just doing yourself a disservice. Why would you do that? Abra we increase way by just another 4% keke. It will give you about a quarter of this 700,000 votes, which is about 250 or maybe 150 crap. So why are you playing with Ashanti region? Hey, you are playing with who diagro. Mo party who so just no sorry mo ye Ashanti region in na catch up no mo yesterday. Mo catch up no mo yesterday mo diagro. They are joking with fire. There are regions where you don't joke with fire. Greater Accra region, I'm in Central region. I'm here at Brum Pamensambrum. Because here Greater Accra region, MPP for just 48% no mukuta hono. 1,250,000. 1,250,000. No. Just 48% no because of the numbers. Accra Bobra. NDC, just 51% NDC one. 1,326,596 and NDC kuta. Enti okan shifo, aboso okan for, ene imakola for, John for no kaye, pai opa for no ade omuna mo nyina no. Don't joke with them. Adwoasafo constituency Domi Kwabenya is one of the biggest constituency. Biggest constituency. That is why MPP say if they want to make any showing for Baumia in this election, Tina Mensa or Luzu primaries, any new guy now abano, they must make sure there's unity. Yes, sir. Party setting in say Kim, Omon Beto, and it's 1,250,000, 174 no MPP are Greater Accra region. Meanwhile, already MPP is struggling in Ashanti region until Omako airport. Because airport no Maya or Kumase no, it will go a long way. Bema Kumase for come back from Kakra. No, Moye road 1-2 be because the way Kumasi consistently in your Kumasi Ashanti region has been the World Bank of MPP. No, so Baumia targeted now Ashanti region vote to go to me the 72 no to 80%. At least Baumia will be in a comfortable because or to me the call 80. Sa Akrane Baba Begusu no be to me neutralize it. A year first the difference never be BA. Any I have to put the MPP Kakra. A bit neutralizing other places are more Munti Baumia for more money now. And that is why last time I made Chairman said that's the reason why Baumia Wakofa Damboche. It's me even before I reach out for the Babana Minister Damboche or Paco. Because Damboche wants to, he's the master engineer, he's a master planner, thinker. Because they say when you need it will not have boot on the ground, leg work, no yet. But say, oh, you'll be a Dinkasier. What they took from Mamma Cham say boot for boot, a honey for honey, you say. And about taxes, so a mafia na mekano. Unimobia onim elections move mafia, Damboche number one. Election move mafia. NDC should be afraid of Damboche in the if MPP for the campaign team. No. Because NDC and Kasa so a problem internally. Ya boatinjan when you net in chain, or fire boatinjan. You cannot eliminate Papa na dream one mune. 50 quit and running national elections. They say don't get a yes. 50 quit and running national election. Sabi Jenfi on running national elections. As executive, no. But ya boatinjan money adia wa drink see on when the party check. Running your match. If you ignore them, you are killing yourself. NDC must start doing unity with Dr. Dufon Crawford and bring them on board. Abranti here first oh, me amini pa oh, Abranti oh. Kojo Bonsu. The NDC needs to bring Kojo Bonsu back. Because I want Kofi Boache, and Kofi Boache, but because Kofi Boache, NDC person the pulley Ashanti region vote. Now, if you bring Kojo Bonsu, no many idea. Alan be damage kakra MPP for Greater Accra region per one NDC betime increase your vote. Omunya even 400 omunya even 1 million e Ashanti region NDC ko. And that is why Ashanti region Greater Accra region has become the battleground. This is Central region. Central region they say Greater Accra region. Omo mpem kwa asem. Central region omo mpem kwa asem. You cannot fool them. Oba ya omo the stamp be ma omo maso apam waves here. And it's a region over the years. I feel like they've been used. You use them. They be as a bema or gay be as a situationship. You are also you are friends with benefits. Sana only senior people person from your Central region friends with benefits. As you want any yanya be any ako a central region akobua to pankakra. Yenya any be the mile, but yenya any be any asamba central region be bua to pan. Look at central region. MPP 52.7. That's why NDC must be careful with central region. Professor James Professor Jena no pokwa. They have to use the woman to do a lot more work because the way I'm I say, what? And the NDC must use the woman because woman will appeal was central region. Into use no more central region, man, increase central region because still, even with MPP for mistakes in MPP won in central region. They won hands down 52.7% in central region, even more than national percentage. He got more in central region than national percentage. NDC must, you are playing with fire. You are playing with fire. NDC national executives, they say, why not if you central region womb? That's a more relegated central region. At a most on for more relegated you to the background. You are not pushing. At a most a winty mum at a most in call for 20 caucus for no more central region more. As a way you are winning from they say, Mahama boys and you must go down and work with these people. And that's why security in no baby muntin and a security in mafia semi. Because one year Buga ni bomb was central region. I think about it. Look at central region from 96 near the end. The other end, the 2004. MPP form 58.8%. Even 2004, no can hear President Kufuor second time. You know, President Kufuor central region for no more done. They gave President Kufuor 58.8%. NDC 2024 that time not Atamos na candidate. They gave Atamos 38.9. Even though Atamos is from Central Region, they rejected him. 2008, they came back and supported Atamos 50.6. And Atamos President and this is Central Region. Atamos President Kufuor numbers be and Atamos do Central Region. President Kufuor in 2004 got 58.8%. Atamos only managed to get 50.8% in 2008. MPP still got a sizable number, 46%. 2012, NDC got 52.1% in Central Region. I'm a Benuado, Moedumano, Legacy, and Uni. Allotated cost. That's why NDC is playing with fire. This allotated cost at the end, NDC didn't manage it well. They didn't manage it well, and still allotated cost bobuga. Because when to me, I manage even post allocate resignation from NDC, somebody should have approached allocate to manage it. It says allocate and no papa never born in me, I go spoil them. It's allocate, they say they spoil them everywhere for NDC. Because even 2012 will cry, no, NDC really, NDC only managed to increase the votes from 50% to 52%. So only 2% when the count was Central Region. MPP came to 45.5%. NDC slipped, MPP forced to pay 0.1%. In 2016, MPP forced increase your vote in Central Region. It is NDC for the brand journalists for Namu ye. Muamu campaign now koye. People no. 2016 Mukuta running mate. How few more regional. NDC only managed to make 43.4%. Now we want a mumamu. A analysis if you don't think Ubeka will be dream boots on the ground. Yeah, you mano. Nejai ube young kofono. In fact, you think I'm mechanical. Who you be at me? Yam and favor to ma. Me matra be careful, cry. Me and Chamaya grammar. Me mencha cramaya grammar. Inti me matra be careful. 2016, NDC only managed 43.4%. 2016, MPP for increase your move vote from NDC. And that time, no be in their course, this and Kola Abape. NDC from penny for the baby when they were in power, now for my arrogant. Obi about power penase, except the MPP for no my arrogant. Who come at and penny do at them? Who come at and penny do at them? The same thing, the names that came up those days under NDC 2016. Yabe Yeosesia. Ombe Yeosesia, and that is what the price they paid for it. People voted them out of power. 53.2% in your own backyard. Central Region MPP for beat you almost simple. 40, they didn't even make 50% to 43.4. 2020 elections, NDC for Guinea, also in Central Region. Even with Professor Jeno, no pokwad mejumo muye look. NDC didn't make any showing in India. 43, normally 2% per account in Central Region, maybe 45.9%. We have 3%. It's the end of the count. In Central Region, in your homework, my NDC. We NDC put so that Central Region. Work your neja atem did you now say TikTok, Facebook did you atem no? We ain't changing 2% name. Say between MPP for 52.7%. Any NDC 45.9%, you need to close the gap.
see here so closing gap at least 5% in the fucking one now the ever say for 5%, 7% gone at the back one more with me about 52 nibi. To your NDC ni now ye uncle for. Okay, say ye at the 7% in Baba account. Ye know at the 7% Baba account one now. These are the issues I was saying now. Now you can't want them to a party for, but to be fair to NDC, they gain plus 2.4% in Central Region. Abraham MPP for total vote free 2016 by they do 2020 that's what minus 5%, but they didn't lose and he be a minus 5. There is almost negligible. And the NDC must do more homework in Central Region. Timunja some of the professor Jena now pokwad man said them to soya ifro. NDC bring her out. Stop keeping the woman in the room like oya ifro. Or yakoya na Amelia. Professor Nano Pokwad is supposed to be a candidate. What is someone finding Kobium class running mate to car? Let her be on the ground helping. Of you raging her. How many times Odin Kogomwa, Odin Kumfi, Odin Wasa? Meanwhile, Baumia boys no good demo. For the first time, Baumia boys in who says Zongo for baby class supporting. Come on, with some NDC for Baumini person go in Ebano. 10 the Bama Baumia boost on the ground. Monya Jumano in the ground, room to room, door to door. That's the homework you should do. When you enter social media, whatever social media can be, you are selling your party, marketing your party, Ashanti marketing because Ashanti region for baby, or my paved with MPP, and this is juicy for NDC. Go there and talk to them. Now, I'm sorry, my Bobby pan or internet so. No, I hear Ashanti for quantum. No, I hear two for. Okay, so Benya, or two for my voice back one kind to be a voting mobi. No, two for crack or general crash. So, in general crash apotua. Wouldn't what? Translating to the number of votes. Stop making the mistakes now they be amoyeno, eh? But the good thing is unim. This 2020 elections, so to me, so much than how Momu baby room. Come on, him say Ghana na 88 be. To the campaign NDC or ANCCano. After 2020 campaign now, which said there's a big difference. They say this, they are at war. Like the vim. The vigor of your work campaign, you can know when him say 2020 no. Na do 2 in 1 year pen away. It will be first time now. The way a Ghana trend na koyeno. I just see a man another 4 years to count. No more person be waste your musical. It did NDC run in 2020 campaign. Won't you say, no person be waste your musical one near my baby. And that is why they did what they did. And she says, see, I know about 2024 on there. Omnim said, another 2 times where we Baumia a new candidate or Baba starting fresh. And you know, they are going all out. Into their promise upon promise. Elections where is a promise galore. Mama see obey the obey Wi-Fi wo krobiem. City be obey Wi-Fi wo. Ba me see the memo of flat rate. Na Alan Chairman see duty no kra me papa after 2 years me yi ni nyina kra free onum. Elections where they are promising they are better. But for when it to form the busa ho about promises are what that no. And then not just which one and how sure Nipane is likely to do it for you. Which one? But NDC is going on again. Because Oshe total vote now, omudi free 2020 elections now. Omudi plus 2.7%. Ebe kan omu vote no neba. 2016 omudi 44.6%. 2020 NDC for 47.3%. Now do free 2016 no. Or the year first 53% and a buy. Or do 2020 no. Now about for my do 51.4%. By no normal trend. About BF in the first term or the second term. So kwa America na kwa Biden ni post no cry outdrop it. Trump ni post akosro. Trump is doing the same thing you know. Wabedi 1 term he's waiting to come back because your campaign side any for America for a 2-term system. It almost so Trump I 1 term or person baba. And now we are I'm saying New Hampshire or say South Carolina. Was saying we need caucus no. Trump was saying we need. This is the same thing that Mahama is trying to pull in Ghana. At the end of the day, Nubusa who say, "Emu diahe and a bebo." Because parliamentary seat in there, my prediction that as a better abanevieno, NDC will have majority in parliament. Because MPP for parliament in Tokoyo Muni Chairman's Abosunia, the air mafia. The course of parliament in a mafia. A mafia and a course mafia, make a chairman say, Ebedu. I told you people say Ebedu, mafia and a course no. And Mafia na no more day, because Chairman Sabon to know so we ache enjoyment now when you know, just say, oh, yeah, any year. And you know, the backbenchers also wanted to mention about when you can't ye kono bimra. And one day we'll talk about all these third forces. Ye goom. Green Street don't baby because they say, I don't think he's coming again. papa we kura me shada nim no DAA we Jacob say no we Abrante Mire film na so me ha omu nyina ba all the third forces ni nyina all the hwe nan we even the last 3 you kura want me make you even 1%. Enti Green Street na nya 0.1% and a gum chirabosum nya 0.5%. Nanado nya 55.1. Mahama nya 42. This kind of margin, and this is one you have a margin of a difference of about 6% as a 7% in your obi. Now the amunya said you to be close government a campaign. Go be wiem kwa na maka na +1 - 1 bi and I bet me e de wiem. What you want to me wiem ni nyina. And it said the rojo metal do no kan ye no. O say I was giving the I was giving tea. Nobody gave me biscuits. This election, NDC, no NDC person to go into elections and drink tea without biscuit. Mwani na ho. Ya bro di ane kra masa meni. The same thing happened before no bi amu na ho. We are a friend saying Dr. Uncle, Kofi Krantion, third force or mwani na ho. Abattoir is going to be a make or break for Abattoir. By NDC, kudos. Mrs. Offer campaign NDC running. They are running a solid campaign. And MPP for social committees about me at or day banoa or not to any break. But this election, whoever wins is a historic election. It's a historic election. Any elections will be able to mediate agrobia. It's elections able to make history. I'm a Ghana election that will create history for Ghana. Me come messages in the Bram train Nana Kwabna Abrompa on why your penny cassia I will see dia or share secret in only idea. So I elections were Mwani na ho. O share program where they opa no etie umpa, don't worry. Intina choice. Say platforms no be programs, entertainment, there untia, don't worry. What I say, a choice. That's how it is. Kobe Jones not say if your MPP is not attractive because of bad governance, and you could for the patron cancer. Vote no munya no. They grew. Mo cancer last election, no, but MPP go name. It be careful what you are saying. Campaign amount party, I campaign amount party. MPP is not attractive. Yes, yeah, we are very careful when you say that. Because campaign, no one can say, I know, I know, winning. I don't say. MPP can win with Ashanti, Eastern region and EFS and Central region and split Greater Accra region and Central region. Okay. And it's true, mom. We should map na medichona. MPP for the 5 regions depend on the winning. NDC winning more regions, but they lost. Because numbers, what are all the northern regions? Who can vote in everyone? And to me, the total number of votes go Greater Accra region. No. And to me, 2 votes in Greater Accra region. No. 2 the Agra was so best. In fact, say on the northern regions in your Savannah, northern, northeast, any adin now, regions now. Baomiani Mahama Koche vote no. Baomiani Mahama Beche, because Omunina and northerness. Omunina Moko for better momo. One way you cry about me may have an edge because of a cremoni, Mama a Christoni. It's a cremophone all northern regions. Then you decided say because of your religion. And if you look at Ghana dynamics now, you're too abandoned based on baby a free any religion. The Ghana there's true talk and ya brochery. Ghana batona yetono more on baby a free any religion. It plays more role in Ghana battle like most African countries. It is very likely say they send a bayano. Baomiani Mahama better. No much was a year, and I want to hear a assembly. In the battleground is Greater Accra region, is Ashanti region, is the Eastern region. These are the battleground. They are coming in almost supplementing the major ones. Be half a region the Greater Accra region. 5.7 million votes in the Greater Accra region. If you win Greater Accra region, you're on your way. When Ashanti region come, you're on your way. Eastern region come, you're on your way. Central region here because na make sure Central region crown Mahama running mate free order and Nana do we need Central region. Central region. Mahama running mate for Central region, but Nana do we need Central region. What's that? At the end of calculation, no be muff, no be talk, no be insult. It be calculation we they do. What I say? It be calculation we they do. And now in Asamu Shalihu was here about me will win all the way. Well, why do no? Fakoye vote. What I say? Don't do anything. Just fakoye vote. What I say? It's weird, mana. Now, what me Abba? Abranche Abba could only all these people call themselves journalists. Class 1 people crack and make better analysis. Don't worry, your choice. Upano here for to be crack your pono. Don't worry, your choice. What I say? Kobe Jones not say a nation is bleeding badly. Ekufuado ne na ban ni nyina na ama oman no said Ekufuado no cross and say MPP Kufuor warned us about him, but nobody listened to Kufuor. Ono so the message out there about say Kufuado and waka no di we nyina ede aba ono so the message no Nunike Lamte Nunike, I like your name. Nunike Lamte, see please people claim Ghana football is not interesting, but people still watch Ghana football. Well, that's true. What we go do? We for watch them. We for support the football. Richard Kunto, honestly, so is Ghana election about party or providing the best for Ghanaians? Ghanaians need to be smart and vote on quality of life and not slogans. That's very true. But Ghana, no, the reality on the ground is almost talk about quality of life. Near there, almost baby away fee or you micro money. Rollins here in this unity for many years. I have to be seen there. Ubia voter rate to Obama Rollins. And yet I'm a winner by ya and can be 1 seat to Kranya do because I could see a boy come a year first a whole crowd say I could see a boy constituency in the crowd and former voter regional minister. I think Kube Chrome and Ofi Kube Chrome the constituency no and yet just a kind when to me a winning I'm a Kofi Jamasi Ketu North. He tried to pull strings in Ketu North was a Ketu South. When to me and Amewunkwa is the only person who managed to get a seat for MPP for in voter rating. The voter rating is easy, so betting us switching for 4 minds. Imano Apiano tell the religious leaders not to just use their mouth to say we want peace, but if we want peace, they should see it to it that there's peace. But it's not religious leaders be you must obey peace, but you voted for people to select police for any religious leaders. They can only pray for peace, but you can't force them. It's not their job. What you say? And they can't force them. Sparky Danny White, see if you with what is currently going on in MPP, Alan going independent with Obriboahene and others shunning their own party. I assure you that MPP won't even get 30% of the vote cast in come 2024. But don't be too quick to say that. Eh? In 2008, what happened? Look at the percentage of votes MPP for President Kufuor Pamo Francis Poku, National Security Coordinator. Hell broke loose in MPP. Kwabene Japan, President Kufuor man position. Because and a lot of people, there was a break in MPP between even Dambote and MPP as party, political party. No, there was a big shift, a big divide between party, any Abain. Because now President Kufuor wanted to, the accusation was that President Kufuor want to saw in MPP. And they won't allow him. It's Dambote, led by Dambote and his squad, say, yeah, party. And they are the people who opted for Nanado in 2008. She voted MPP for Romunia in 2008 election. And even the accusations that Nanado and call for, at the ball, President Kufuor said, "Well, I'm Bontia may campaign a momo. It be careful. So we can't breaking Obi if party my I don't know Canada Japan for MPP. Why is he still in MPP? Canada Japan knows said to win elections or Ghana, no, a big chunk of it needs a who here vehicle. You need a political party structure. You need a political party system. You need number. You need the numbers. You need it. If you Canada Japan being smart as he is, he's still in MPP. Who free MPP mo na NDC mo busa NDC first Obeda Samoa mo ebi amo yankwala mo nim no Obeda Samoa was a big apparatchik in NDC. O free NDC the big wigs to say Francis Esiam, one of the women with balls I mean who am Ghana we how are Yakubu Ogede free wa Francis Esiam omu nyire di Obeda Samoa call the party DFP and Kosiaga they couldn't even win third place in elections. And between NDC and MPP who free more, be careful when you are leaving. Make sure so why your homework. That is why I know not Kennedy Kase. Naka was a first Alan Chamate to the book to the book between Omoya primary super delegates. No, any main primary is not was Alan to the book say what they are Montomebo. 1 man who bear 1 man. No, why your homework go be also co-opted what co-opted no. Baby also church and tokro what church and tokro in last minute Omode back up primaries main one now say okay Marisa I mean Kobio. No, they creative blow. Boom. Boom. But Alana, yes, our homework never ground. No. It's initially or your announcement. Nipe bedi nechi. Papa your friend Yera Kodom Pianim. One of the major, most successful chief of staffs are Ghana, Enya, Ewa Ghana, we Atu Ata or lawyer Onukradi Atuata. Atudazi. Or your Temani or to come to 10. Me, I'm a godfather. No. We Atudazi free one ma. One of the most successful chief of staffs, Ghana, Kodom Pianim. Kodon piani munyina Alan and your man Kasam could wait and churches at home. The Alan resignation was premature. Come on, 1 month, 2 months. And like a boom or resigning yanka by now. Why you bow me? I'm a secretary. Why you nanado a secretary? And to be careful what you are saying. Election dynamics. And yeah, better, sir. What you say, oh, to war near Mabu, and you can also talk about what you made you 30. I'm one who the 30 no edeco. It's one way here. When in now, be careful. Any party for any they obey at the amount. We all see if you whoever wins is the same story. Well, it's not the same story. It's the same story probably because a baby had the baba. But I don't crowd him. What if mama buy? He did his best. Why you first saying Adenta? Why University of Ghana Medical Hospital? Seku Dubai, you know, Ayalolo Mahama. Shabaomiaba, digitization, one of the fantastic programs MPP for by my digitization, free SHS, 1D, 1F, and then in none of what it's not 100% successful. It's not exactly the same. Normally, Obiaba, they have flagship project. It's in a mamaka 24 hours. There's a reason why. Or didn't you know a banner? What I say? Now also focus and make a decision for yourself. Which one will help you? What I say? Enti boy, nako wanim. Wait now a choice. You be because Ashantis are not proud of the MPP for now. Well, and also you almost there. So almost asema Ashanti region voters in Bebre can't MPP for you mumu. They have been very loyal to them, but on buying development from. In fact, bauxite no cry. A chunk of bauxite near two Ashanti region in a hini. And so you had a bauxite nisikana kodi loan in the ayaka a road awakra. This is one of the things. Bauxite near kodi no in a hino, you two no in a hini. Ya kodi sika baya ya kwakoye road awakra. First say Pokwasi interchange. Ya de bakwa kwakoye obeche bilamte. Obeche bimpo hompo ya den. Hoye obeche bi. Aboso kan run about no. What you say? Eti no. There's a reason why I'm working on Didi. Okay, okay, I say Richard Hammond. I say if I'm watching you live, welcome there. Richard, that's baby say, oh, every day I'll be watching and now a thank you so much. Isaac Ngua, I say watching you from Mönchengladbach, Mutamu Kron, the Emidekeke, Mia Kolana, me football made in Germany, Mönchengladbach. Yeah, I say honor or share you free. No, see MPP and this, keep them on their toes. If they are milking the state, well. This is what party food soldiers and some person betting. Omo pede on babeka. Now ya can the obey omo de amomo. You know, I mentioned a brompa one of the director of programs, was CDD. And also why you match in charge of security. Mini abema Elvis Dark to a journalist. Why you may ya he will also bring us on board. Mr. Brompa, Nana, Mr. Ayas, you come and it's a mammy kakani who fool him near the most. I dare sound kaka. Obani, na me busa about security. No tell me your prediction. Sana me dunia bema Elvis abem say. Elections we yan sha ye be kono. Na ye be 12 year na nipa be 15 dey na hwe anu o ma die. Who na we in charge of security? Also your former officer who need security, who make security. You know everything about security. What should we expect for 2024 elections? Yeah, you need say boot for boot, fire for fire elections.
If you that say, Yemfa Konya so chia tie for mutie nyina. Say and some of the odi kan kan nyina o. Why your analysis ni ye. Now before some call question so no.
Someone am training here. See before anyone am training here.
Ma me kan kire yen supporters. You can say yen supporters like say nyina Ghana for into BB or support to MPP or support to NDC. Omu nyina yen supporters because say omu ko kan some kan yen ma me papa mu nyina. Ti yen kan kire party HD for nyina say some of these analysis no ya omu hwe ni ye. If you obekaya the ma nkrofo enya gidie kese say ampa 2020 elections no dream wom eye parliamentary results na bae no sa map na u show ye no uhu say nkrofo agidie say ampa say bia ye wiemu ama MPP if he say adenti na yenya parliamentary seats bebre nanso presidential results no amache one way the other no na omu justified because Ghana ha no yen sheda to skirt and blouse bebre and it's me expect say me vote ewo akachi eko parliamentarian wa me vote be president ho and see ekeka seat ni na abom ni ties me nya more than half there it should reflect in the presidential results. But we map now show in actually say it doesn't go that way.
Exactly.
Inti ye we na na ye chita for no so e de ye nkyerɛkyerɛ. Ni so we begina radio so e preach kyerɛ o say enam say yenya more parliamentary seats no ye ni aba no ye sisi enti hit the streets and go and cause mayhem. No actually me akɔ no say at least menya some basic analysis kyerɛ say in some of the constituencies no the Ghanaian numbers na ho no ukabo mu a ene ebi nyepe ye nkuta equal constituency delimitation inti en matches are en kosa inti emfa parliamentary results en judge presidential results. I know you one education and you remember say what they about out yes you chita for it bebre now the see go 2020 now for the justification no o matia say ye koso bi if am say what set it tone no bibi am saying na idea about to echi no ye nim no say wo bra manyoko bi edi mfe nwotwe awie obi free so no and nko akita the dynamics as far as tension on the environment is concerned onim say nkrofo na dia show mtrimo say so kan ya ka chew amanfo agya to mu say obi di mfe nwotwe so okomu bi fufuro ba enti ni nyina influence ahoboaboa political parties in the campaign mu
exactly
enti so obehwe a said ye ahokeka ene eniema bebra NDC year of 2020 no what is to 2024 a different cry then for akizu other than one check party campaign mu ama Julius Debra Manfafa we amfafa we utimi se na MDC ahokeka no to say no and no much them
exactly
and outreach no so contem if you say sa idea say edru en so no ho inti eno nko akita no environment the tension baba to no na so my chita for no kogidi say na edru ye so na ye nsa anka dia enwiemu aba na ebeye more telling for this election because yenya court cases mienu about to ho 2013 2013 ye buawie no anko na Akufo-Addo ne team afa statement o ma no almost the same statements and after 2020 adjudication former president Mahama so ma say ye gidi say ya woni about court no anko amayende and so enam say e pass on bi nti agya to name with this experience no ye the judge ye the lawyer ye the defendant in abesha ye nsem polling station it tells a lot into bisa who say enti crofo be court bi o na and so mun court bi o a die na be ye wo next action enti about to nyina wo no dynamics be brea ema environment no very tense and nunti na ese mini umi no nyina sare ya sha ase entem enya se e dede ne epe ana se about to be dra ye kekam bebre and so you say the fence otumfo obo baby pampan na kese wo ne hia no yeah they make us say my etwa ehun ahia nyina aka French minimum unit French say bass bi bi asikwa na ye dwane ya be Burkina Faso kasa buka client e tia ko sreduan and say crazy go fi say ye ko Burkina Faso say de ehun koto asemu
exactly
ehonjo nti de ebe ya ne say ye be boy man hu ye na kakra wo ensem no ye de aka eniam bebre wo hono mu a aka akira ya anya ese ye menka aka ya dwene 2020 elections nipa ngotwe ne wuye ye hye nkrofo adan nkrofo motor bicycles ye obi abrante bi amia me kokko interview no wo doma yes doma ne nine no da ne nine da de mu ontumi nante de ne ba kuma se kra ne be ye programs friend and saying taximan mamia ne ba truck driver okoto aba otuwie no say ne me twen for economic results and send me move with me goods na north and unfortunately tio kan no me di mame ne ba kuma se ni umbe ye mpese bi hu the justice system na koye in fact the time wa ye wie ye program no because of funding no anyone na ye in the 2021 February out of cases 8 no na mumi no pen na edru court Accra de no ne brekum de and the edru court no crans no mu kwa na nyina na postpone as of now minim de asie in the sane mani nyina o sister no mu a yen kan ho asem aya was so west ogon white pay by yen kan ho asem compensation by a crofo bi bufu yi say so any umanji ning na egu ha yen kan. So there are so many things that also state more yen kan parliamentary competition and a friend is saying contest wo yen kan at least in Ukraine pa jeti question there doesn't none nam hoi.
Exactly.
And some bebre ho kan as ye kan ho asem ni hu. And na so far Afrobarometer data so a chira say the trust in most of our institutions now intervening factors no nyina so conform. Electoral Commission trust conform, police administration trust conform, even the military, even though it's still up there as swearing. Enti ya accuse Council of States, ya accuse chieftains institution, the other mediation, National Peace Council, Crawford Chenase. Enti enyema we break kabomuma environment ni enye safe. Enti de baya na se me ni umienu sa education ye betiase. Na yen supporters betiase say it's not always about cheating. It's not always about mismanaging the results, but it's about we having the competency, preparedness to tabulate our own results. Graph for you. So minimum me no and ye graph say ye compute ye figures ye need to me pinpoint say na esia. Vigilante na ye can say but ye may understand vigilante. Ya police center. Yes, I mean I'm now as NDC of the friend is saying agents, MPP agent, whoever agent. Ma telling me results in a year, many sim, ma send the SMS media ba, a dear manipulation bill na mesabeka.
Exactly.
Yes, Eddie Kano, yem pesa attention we no, yen ya hobo ye. Yen quality and resource ye, yen training and crop for ye. And Pempin the Anna Yun said, one night training as observers, a drew on more, you are replaced with macho men. It shouldn't be so. Yen for competency and obia about hard dream if you say if you say on a bit my conclusion for amayaba. And to me initial statements, my emphasis ya to about what I did a be a saint ye, me so be cast any pang of penny we. Hey, anyway, and see, young training in a year, near come say a bang or two at 12 a hunting in a beer and why I fair when qua. Yenya 8 enipa a friend say in sia wuye and Crawford die as she Crawford motorbikes. You me will pick pictures be or her pickups. Me no I any motorbikes. Never be brave. Inti yem fan say obia ne ho kan ye no ono de oyobia keke. Obia ne be free in san oyobia abrantie so akoye exams a obafia ekokunu wo friend say
I think I take mine.
Hence he
But not.
won you efia.
And are you from one analysis or observation? Because me say your former security officer or science security you or CDD. Are we expecting 8 numbers now move free mono to go up? Because from the area who need with the tension now started on and then vim never go be at shame. No, it's likely say numbers and go up. What do you say? Will it go up?
No, if I me a bumpire say yes sir and me will hope say enkosi safi say over sheni year who said the National Election Security Task Force we activating on them than the previous elections.
Okay.
And I will share example they call by elections me know to year. All the previous by elections, no say you will be stronghold, say you will be stronghold, and my boba and masabase see. But me know a with the active involvement of the National Security Task Force, no, yenya basabase biya. And no mommy hope say because by election I Ghana biya. I also was organize the most peaceful constituency among all constituencies in
I
Ghana.
know.
By election, we didn't say it. And I wish talency, wish friend say Asankregwa, wish baby. The by-election be talk about, but fortunately, these two previous immediate past by-elections, the activation of the election security task force earlier no, IABB. We are expecting say a contributing factor. The contributing factor, the activeness and the friends of the electoral commission. So they are making the electoral commission with legitimacy, but a constitutional legitimacy and the Constitution is a Ghana near what in say by electoral commissioner. And I mean, no appointing authority. Constitution is a so man in consultation of Council of State and power. But me and Sunny that's popular legitimacy. It be no your behavior or actions, or speeches, or inactions. Into one year no, it's up to the commission to work such a way, say, Sa Adia Obeye, Subaya Obey Nedi, said I would be carrying Crawford along, no, a unity beba, then Crawford Aji Unyumayatum. The saying this year, come back to the IPAC. Now, consensus I have said, Yuma, may expect the electoral commission complement the efforts of the security task force. No, now me no me so education I shall say as a sanyema. Me expect a woman because Rubio name say beya the justice delivery system cases never court no omunye na any example so be anko for beto omuyem na yenkunya reprisal attacks.
Okay. Open my better me jaw, but my mamma only a bear no more emre munyo and one son a bear because na me busa about this issue. Say police phone if they can manage the elections and if you can do just a quick one for us because that are the who say if for not just a minute everything prof Jubin at was politics in parliament.
Asemna COP Gabriel Kai no on carbon say communication and the difference here. Election security task force a combination of all the security agencies in the country. Because elections is an internal affair, no, a Ghana Police Service and a spearhead the election security task force. Inti say a core election security task force, election planning now. The military is part of it, only that they are used as standby force. The military is deployed only when situation I do baby police for you who and the military exactly the communication Gabriel the Babonting. The FBI example come my day I was so the frame united seem to paint a picture say military for the bear muno and a tutu on the bar so I was so. But apart from that, you know, COP Gabriel communication on the bar about election security task force only a mistake. So oko national a IGP na eche, oko regional a regional commander of police na eche, but every security institution or regional level will be a part of it. Oko district a district police commander na eche. This is first no na a friend is a dissect ni rexec and then I hold security of elections no. But since 2020 you be say no. A friend said since 2008 you be say no. District chief executive not a part of government.
Exactly.
Only for better security advice in election. Kaya Baba Jama ne election. Now some of example for regional minister or eastern region. When the signal by say the environment was not conducive for the election. And some the police for the said no, the environment was conducive. Thank you, Jai the Rexec no kwa bianca about onamaso. So since then on I modify separate security for elections. It's a comprise but the deployment to the polling centers, you know, the military is not part.
Okay.
Even the police people per their standard operation, you know, they don't hold arms. It's only the standby force I at a pointer and emergency and move with arms. And the military is even the third standby force. Omudi from time be biagin some way fees and yajumano and I'm military bem. Gabriel was not wrong, but probably example no set here with Agyawa so seem to paint a picture say military ni bem ma etutu no buy and otherwise the election security task force involves all security agencies. Now the internet a prison service officials called police station.
Yes.
Immigration for police station. Yeah, what I say, the numbers of Ghana police service alone can never man over 26,000 polling centers. No.
Okay.
Including the normal security work.
So the why police near son obey head of a security CDD into
security that. But officially security officer.
Okay, but what you say elections here no one and no one monitor check. But Mamima, but you made a very important point here, Nana Brampa, about electoral commission. Yeah, what can party for there? What can party? You made a very point about electoral commission in post and in your mom. Always, also you mean you have my journalist or cover elections at a prof Jobenzo or a former journalist and now a professor. Mami Musa Elvis, what do you think about 2024? Yeah, Elvis, make us on them.
Hello, what do you mean?
Meton kapa.
I say out in can.
Absolutely.
Okay, me champion for now or program no so. And I'm here for you now. I am say 2024 elections no say na nyina can. The AC 2020 the nya dia ye be pese ebesi in 2024. And internet say ye nyina de wo mu bia no say yetumi ka na ye nyina ye sua ade film na 2024 election no e be very peaceful. In fact, it is needless say be election kwatwaba na make a choice. Now out of that, na enipa that's any accrediting one. Unacceptable and idea say ye nyina ye can say sa de no. Politician bia obeye bibia ebe disrupt the peace of an election. I say you're calling it out. Very important. Elections be a make or break election. Just like 2016 and NDC attempted said they want to break the eight. Ambasono. 2024 so MPP is also saying that they are attempting to break the eight. And the stakes are high. And in the 8 elections say every 8 years be a buying. But the question is that nobody can predict that it's going to be like that forever. It's going to be like that forever. They say Bibiano a washasier and anything can happen in 2024. MPP can win, NDC can win. It depends upon the decision of the voters. Who they prefer is what Ghanaians will accept. And the year election. Elections are about choices. Who preferred candidate, whether parliamentary or not presidential. Election enye entokwa. Yenkun tokwa. And just yeti politicians so ye die ye be yesi ya. Ese media ne society say to me makachiro mo say dey Sa kasa no omunjai. On said 2000 last 2020 elections are nipe wuye. Bisa on say politicians no na ye kwakoto aba ma omo mpanyimfo party mpanyimfo na omo make comments a ginger amanfo omo koye niam be omo mu ahe na ewuye akomo ba be na omo busu ani be na ewuye mpanyimfo omo da party na no ne wona ye to aba ma omo nyina no nipa 8 ewuye nyina no unkan se there's politician we ba anani ni abema ene ewuye. It's just ordinary people somewhere who have a passion for a particular political party. Bibi obi aka say oh you protect your ballot ko ye we and na akota asemo aba. It's yeah ordinary citizens say eti ase say empenyifo na omo top na omo share say ko ye we you protect your ballot you to anamon we no. Bibi too a omo enfo omo ho because ono niba is not at the forefront of that thing. Obi obesha osnetly no I say because among for passion for their political parties you know. Ekoba no say penyi bi kotona baby say oh yenkonye si a otie kura bi asikura no because wati already so no ati obabe ntino onu to anam akwa emra penyi na okata mo nkonye sa no onu kroni hobi enti pesa man for tia say election violence no matter how well what happens no is difficult so but say empenyimfo ne endanofo no ewu amaya in fact elections edin tokwa abem mpo no ono mu wi nyina no enye ono mu da be di ade o alasa watara beba power ai na Ivory Coast say edi tokwa bai nipa do de wi ba so wa be di ade ama wasa change constitution e di third term ono mu wi no then o fa so be no munya because nipa na wo kwa kokko ama na wo wi no we be di 2 terms wo ye wasa change constitution de bi aka ne and the other na ordinary person won ti ase say abato no although say we wish that we party be win no obedi mraso na why the mrano say yeah so party win and fine party win a abato na yamba na be win ba ku na be lose.
But Ever, do you anticipate say we have had your course to 2020 na nipa 8 wu ye na we are ye kwe nipa more ever rescue omo la because advice we dey yakasa omuntie nipa more is likely to report.
It depends on the messaging. It depends on the messaging in the system. Over 2020 election, the voting period, violence this year, violence this year. There was no violence beyond the voting period. In fact, because of much in voting contempt in many places. I'm for to obey you, 3 o'clock, I'm for to obey you. Okay, baby, a violence this year. It's more of collation. No, be so collation. Be almost safigano. It's ye ko wa ko protect yaba. Enu na di esem ne bae. And actually, amabozo ye win. In fact, 12-year-old now ye kun no tamalenu. Who kind the police reporter? Or say a 12-year-old no oka encrophobi one. Omu was street so. So omu kwa koye jubilate and the 2 fee office be and never born no we. Enti enya abato seta me yeto abado na owuye o. Ya to abana wie obi se medi nkuni and omu tubu street so for instance me ma ono ni there for example for instance. To be bisa won say ankasa jubilation no amu tubu mu no amba so a anka bia sa 12-year-old bi anka wenwu. Enti na make say mu ma yenya botre. Because I'm going to make a choice. And maybe I told you to Ablekuma, the NSA, a branch or two will be to Ablekuma, so a national security officer, yeah, Nako court, maybe a case no way. So, also now a collation center. Tell me a quality and I don't know. It comes to the lesson, yes, she say, the AC 2020, who say, the one see mostly at the time a collation cost. And how do we ensure that security arrangement to the collation is tighter to make sure that people are not able to breach whatever systems put there for anybody to be feeling that my life is in danger?
Okay.
And I think that May 2020, during the voting period, who said Obiewu and violence BC, but we saw a lot of the people who it's largely about collation. Okay. If we've learned any lesson from 2020 elections, it's about saying why you provide the best security during the voting period. The security during election, even the tighter than they are provided during the voting period. I think
that's a very good point.
Something didn't happen properly in security during the collation, which resulted in that. And I hope we will learn something from that. But the narrative now, politicians back up it has always been with us in the system. And then always a leading amount for say but as some two are only home from 1993 to now electoral violence as a but they abandon them at the end of the day. And what
Nana Brown Pamensa can say, sir, 8 people no mu year 2020 no. Case no cry baby a case in work just I say obi abandon case no. Me one nipa na not every brodo ni chizo.
Yeah, the last time a police provided any update on that case to the public. December, I think December 21 or something, 2 weeks after election. And a police provided update about what happened to those people. Ever since that time, 4th year one away, we've not even received any update from the police to say, sir, Abrante say Okumobiwo, Ablekuma said Nako court no case no court system no case ne doing. Where the NSC no eduhi, where the eduhi. We've not even received any update from the police apart from that press conference at CID as far back as December about 3 weeks after I voting. No, I think 2 weeks. So because December 21, 22nd, we had that press conference, and we provided this is what happened, preliminary investigation. Apart from that, you won't have information be our baby say a year later or 2 years later, no police ever provided any additional information. The case way is at this state, case way is at this state, and because we have not received that update, no, the public perception is Assembly Krano and Kosiaga, and the public is right to say that because how come say Assembly in 2020 and then 2024 February many wouldn't come in. You need any update on the status of any of the cases. Assembly are twatting. The person is right to say that because human information they have to show say what is going on those cases. And I think that the police are 1% Ghana for taking almost serious. It's about time they provide some details on those issues because that said Mr. Brabaka has a confidence in police and others. These are some of the reasons there. People don't have confidence. Who see watching for what they want to court? When a year we what boarding? Who see preliminary investigation way? Now for 4 good years, na yenti unka bi mu a ye kon next elections are
Yeah,
how do you
connect
expect me to say I can trust in you to do the right thing? Because
Okay.
by now somebody will say if people are not guilty, the court should they should have gone through the process. Those who are not guilty will be free. Those who are guilty, the court will pronounce them guilty and action taken. And then I can them say next election security will be the title. Then I trust you.
Okay.
But currently, we need that information. I can't even have that confidence in the police
To
to
trust
that
you.
level. Actually, because they see in the past, we don't know the conclusion of those cases. And I think that
and also na ye esua de ma ye so no. Elvis, and also na ye esua de ma voters no say nipa 8 ewu na still like in case you do baby a wo de wo ho kwagim na bibi ye ma wa. It's up to you because one dey feed you family. One dey be hwe wachi.
yes, some may be breadwinners. Wajana busua wechire. They say why and na busua party krona kra bia who support into koye saade no. O party mpanyimfo na bi kra o mo mebisa o yiri ne o makra say dey na omudia na bia wa bere wa bia o dem obi mebisa say na ne ho te say because once ya to aba na ewie no ono mo wa ben no ono pre de obenya de ono so opposition so green no say misika ahye e be de na medidi e de wo nipa na wo de ho akwahye na wa kopra no unfortunately no it's really something that I say obi additional lesson. Okay. It's very sad these things happen to people and the very party they think they are defending really don't care about them.
Exactly. Obviously, I mean that's a prof. I for prof from Rem. Obviously, that's about how because I see a parliament. It's a coup d'etat or say a mafia nekoso or this leadership issue. NDC they have never first and some MPP for the but prof. Jobi Nyameche. Mama, good evening. Who America. Good afternoon. Near Kwaba.
Yeah, Boko there.
Boko. Prof, I mean, Musa about 2024 elections now. Is it going to be another do or die elections? A serious and a first the dynamics running mate. We have to talk about running mate. Mohammed Chusu running mate. Baumian Chusu running mate. We'll come into the parliament issue. No, but let me take your thoughts on the year first, 2024. No, who's a tension bet me about Bibi bet me a siana.
I fear I'm say Bibi bet me a see. Now, how these things come about. Your friend is a come Ghana power. A come hopa. Inti Elvis Casano say and politician. I don't think say elections in Ghana. Me cover a 1919 but could be Nana Rollins first time, then a second time.
92, then 96.
Yes, ma'am, call evaluate. When I'm a cover. See, electors, on their own will don't like violence. Elections be anywhere Ghana electorate now can say we are taking the law into our hands. And ye politicians in the conform bias adian. Could ballot box. Ye can't maintain my winning almost see me. No the police in the argument. None of supporters are them. Munye say. But electorates now can say I don't think that they are in there some because most of the time I'm vote peacefully. So, but you share the other aspect of who owns media in Ghana. Who owns media? Politicians, yeah.
And then also count them violence in Bano.
Of course.
Okay.
Media, yeah. And politicians own media. Not in station project. You say I was so and a candidate in the winning year. One winning. And the people there are also listening and say, now see a winning here. But on the ground, it be no lose. But media they kind they are two horse when here. Guess what? The supporters be butchi ye ko. O ko ha kwa kopedie. Oh ya tiwo Adom FM and ya ti OK FM say a candidate olusu. Abesu ye kind. But because he owns the media, they are putting out this narrative. Politician grofo. No so search the scam monko not violence na fakusi. Not our police. Not police intiminya hwe. Na afia to tear gas, na afia to live bullets. No biako. Nti media no so ka ho bi. Media no. Ena na ora na e ka say messaging ya ka every election bia ya ka. Wa hu say na nsem hu say civil society leaders bi a start push candidates. And so
civil society for only be pushy candidates.
Yes, openly.
Wow.
Montuma way. Yen try and Ye nyina NDC for nim say mo civil society, MPP for nim say mo civil society ntino. Me ba mama example bi. Over US your Brookings Institute. They are a think tank, very respected think tank. Very respected. You will never hear say any of them are out there or is out there saying say, oh, Moonshine candidate, you were good. You will never hear that. They will give you the bare facts as their research say. And you make the decision. Say the open BR. I say football, no. It's me come out for
oh, yes, CDD say almost what is CDD also they will give you the bare facts. Apple barometer is very, very good. It's very almost perfect.
That is what civil society now also be here. But I say be more beba na montuma baumia ne push montuma baumia montuma say. Are you tell the citizens omo ye damba na say omo ye dam. Oba nipa no oba ba na dwuma so ne ba behwe so ato so aba. Wo de ne say wo be educate wom. Na ne also omanfo ni hu no timemfo hu no. Mo hu no mo anya omo yi. Wonim say your friend say for American Brookings for no omuni candidates support to them. Omo candidates support to them. But enya botaya e was omo dwuma no. Dwuma ne say yemfa nsem na mra out. Die twa no entwa nko ho. Nyame na meka say twa ko ha. Wa hu se de si nko na. Na obisa me say owura ana mami say na wo si yes research you say ABC na me ye. Ne ko wie say yi. Ebi amenti ase mate, ebi so amenti ase. But say for no asofo no bam ebe hihye nkom say we na be wini we na be say don't forget say we ye sofo ana say we ye your friend say obi awo think tanka we busua mu no enyo mu nyina na we ya adwene
exactly
dwene sa I don't think I mean some dwene sa osofo kra bia na the represent support party osofo no support it is ye bibi na wasore ba ekwaji twi ekoye ye na ekobo ntu a wo kwala hye na wonya na so abowo but I'm not doing this. I don't think I'm doing this.
If you don't know can who be na ma ntokwa ni sini because what they are to nipa ntimu say we na be wini we a good candidate if you want to nipa na anya to say media dey ya okay and I saw a classic example of 2020 elections no there were media houses say figure see am show yen say you were whole collective center or despite media you were father onim nyansanti there or you in charge of software no connect onya obi otigano or London. They do about to be 2 weeks to election. They are flying from London to Ghana. Software no go on meye hu aduma. Ono oni collection center. And the reporters na wo no. Results na the electoral commission they journalists woni obi ana no bi. Yenso yenkofo ni nya na the egu system ni mu. Yes aduma we na radio stations owned by the okay politicians here bi. Omsi we na wini. Affair by ya. You had even a whole beblola to saying that no UTV we are results. How can they be results? So how can they very, very crucial to the security of elections?
And no nema issues nebano because citizens na nkasa they don't really say okwa cause commotion. So supporters na politicians one only media houses and the politicians now vested interest na we can say 2024 elections I don't think that anybody on here would disagree, say, do and die. I don't think so. I don't think so because, one, Abino, if he is popular or Abino is popular, you know, him say, what you say, Nkoyi. Secondly, Nipana, a friend say, MPP for you know. On Tessa, Kufuor, non Tessa, Akufuor. So what you say, you 8 years in as I say, I mean, very well.
Right.
So, but on your candidate, what say, what dear nature from 92 to say we more name no. I feel about Tony whom. I feel about Tony whom. And how was he Tony whom or Tony whom from a government he is serving? From it, and can normal circumstance no, but Tony with it. Abana ye because me kaisa kufu ado buy no or the kufu buy to ne ho pa and Ghana for say any aban we now the two hu dey beto am because sa aban na ye is that the same we bet me and yes sir Nkoyi say Nkoyi dey na e wo say a kwan biya so omo adwene mu no
Mhm.
a kwan biya so no ye ma no ye a kwan biya so ne sa mafia ta say awoken we say means na say enko ye kura yentum hey mind you na opani ba ko no e ka say ayi friend say ayi confidence ayi rodi in all the ayi identity na masa yam political football obiya ba no obo no ena security agencies here and state institutions here working say nipa no ye ma appointment now you're confident in yourself we are competent ba no kase o say look I buy na appoint me there but I am coming to work for Ghana. My name and my honor is at stake. Into so now what principles be now to compromise here. E ho now say debi. Ade o mean me since obeji na fe ball football na football na obeji nim guase na enipa 10 ewu under your reign enipa 10 ewu. It's bad. Okay, but me show ade bebre Ghana penifo they don't think about this. Ghana retirement age is 60 years, me boy.
Mhm.
That means you will retire at the age of 60. Say, why a IGP dada? And I say, why a state institution be leader dada? After retirement, you would think you want to go into consultancy.
Mhm.
Most of them that I know.
Most of them, they no, yeah.
Yes, but what credibility are you going into that consultancy?
Oh, okay.
Okay. And after retirement, be break it not in what politics. No, I say, because
in fact, I say who a lot of former police for more MPs, they be contested primaries.
Because someone are confident in themselves. Who's a politics one or say what I say, but Anka 1 year state institution head. What distinguish you and the other organizations say yes no, we followed you and you have a track record that we need you to help us do this. Politics because adwuma no mbe no kra no they oman use some principles no competence no confidence na ye football na ball mo a owie no say me call retirement to aduane be na me di dey na me be hwe me ba at the age of 60 years ohu oden poso sa ye adwuma otwe na ni a ba bi eni ho ohwe adwuma oba ye so a ontimi fa sa adwuma no so enkope consultancy because credibility bi anim.
Okay.
What next? Also politics. No, politics. And so can be a strong consultant be African in Iowa.
Okay. Prof, now me person share you was a year Mensa Brampa na can security as year Mensa Brampa me do bem but he was raising the issue about say electoral commission until I can say they send this go back to iPad. The position of electoral commission about to AI Kenya electoral commission is very important. And I can say what do you also think say into a critical election like a do or die election? How should electoral commission conduct itself before then? Oh, because it's a do or die situation.
Conduct ne omo kwa pack e ho na enema ni nyina ba dey able flow free guidelines how to move, how to go, how to collate sa enema ni nyina e ho na able flow free. We shouldn't also forget say electoral commission was appointed by this government. We shouldn't forget say we are behaving like ostriches. So the point is opposition party na power. How well are they going to monitor and hold the electoral commission responsible? Na yen ama yen koto ba na kasa na se ne ye ka wa paka no antie wu. No. They should make sure that they are making the utmost noise. Na say electoral commission will sit well, na sit well. But sir, your friend say want to majai IPAC, me free mu, me say. Look, whether you go or not, time is running. Time is not waiting for anybody. December 7th, we're there, baba. And you're not we are there, baba. And yeah, opa, was me free me December 7th and family because men to aba. But once why you about to aba no kwade, so I'm a free me come free me shouldn't be an issue. You should stay in there and make sure say what is it that they have to do? Hold them accountable. If they are not getting themselves accountable, they say court. Osa openina Mr. Brampan. Osa can say law courts. System no asai. Ufa ha ne de miaw ha. Ufa ha ne de miaw ha. Case akodi court for 4 years ni. Jachi question, say Gusu court. So you ask yourself, say, is it only electoral commission? No. It takes all these agencies to come together to fight and make sure, say, the system is working. Unless they have different vested interests than
Interest. Okay.
Unless
That makes sense because the system not working and also boa obi.
Say, Obi Ashada, I'm a system to Africa sanity. Africa, Bibia Babiano. Yanya Timemufo na ye be make sure say ya disable no. Na and the boy na Goro boys in the bem. Once Goro boys in the bem pe, na say ya tia family nyina aye. Enti no enye your friend say electoral commission is part of it. But at the end, your friend say judiciary so ye. It didn't say your chief justice or mind to Yanaka, your judges or mind to Moka. Is it that they are so busy, sir? Cases where I could do 4 years, because they have vested interest other than Yaminumi and way. If it is not so, and then what stops them?
Okay.
Maybe your lawyers. Judges have been lawyers before.
Yeah.
Guess what? They know the tricks in the trade. My lord, my client know about say. For how long are you going to allow the lawyers to also play these tricks? You know the tricks. That is why in most practicing to be a private lawyer before you are appointed to the bench. So you are able to gather some of these tricks and you're able to make justice expeditiously. Because you see, justice delayed is what?
Justice denied, yeah. You probably now say in this critical elections. I mean, about this Afrobarometer because me was my Afrobarometer. November, we released the last one, and then indicating like the previous ones now CD the Mayeno, and before Krano, and I was not prof for bomb about so say CD. I mean, so far, your civil society groups are media for you know my age man. Many of them are Elvisa Concrabeti made the dance or side. In fact, CDD has been one of the consistent civil society groups in research, any impact, elections, and not there. And yes, I open you what I'm saying here. Debbie Amisha, Professor opening back no for the Professor Asante,
Dr. Asante.
Dr. Asante Pumpuni. But before Dr. Asante, now by Papa Penino. Oh, me papa.
Professor Jimabwadi.
Professor Jimabwadi, they be a mekasa no. HPMP mekache no. If I see the Maya, they're very consistent information, research. They very consistent, and I think more of my work, I influence Ghana election and political culture more than any organization. Fantastic work, my end. But I come last CD Afrobarometer no. Mom results me share last week me the program who say I buy government or tia konyaso the popularity rate is the conform. And I buy bia so far the second term bia no to say I buy no or conform. Confidence level in I buy no to fight maybe to say corruption to manage the economy na conform. And this time it show the same thing but results in 2016 when Sumaya the same thing say I buy any ratings the conform. What does that mean? Some research number. What does that mean?
If you made us say, research the entire be research, and I say, share no. Answer na research we about out so na share government team, share ekwekua omudi wum near the atomonim because a perception survey. And then Ghana and probably we may have Ghana specific questions, but Afrobarometer is carried out in about 40 African countries. It be the Ghana de kakra bi na be shim ni analyze e de atre de eko na the pempi no ya na ye pese amanfo hu said the economy ni sitie said the ochina ye man panyin per constitutional demand obama ye so nan the same thing say na Ghana fo hu o masitenem say na Ghana fo hu ne meko ni ya ne de atodwa nti said the bia professor can say research enye ntokwa research e kire wo say na de bitie say security asem na ye kan and then I'll be able to CSA. Say agriculture asem na kan, then I'll be able to CSA. Say democracy, human rights, then I'll be able to CSA. It's here the contribution is say mpempi di otwa sana na onim se na chiachia. And we an African country I say no most of our people are bootlickers. Omun kan no kro ne pefe enchre minister no, enchre aban no, enchre panyin na odi na chi no. But yen Afrobarometer data and say, "Demau, say na the NTA, 5 year juma, o man for say na near Merco and Mwawum." And the station friend is saying GTV, a pre-sona speech assessment, to see markets, and say beside. Say, so far Afrobarometer data now for the Uncrofor count markets and a difference in him. Inti ye pese aban bi a wote so at any point in time. And now ye no election year nkwa. Afrobarometer ye 2 years bia. At any point in time, ye be analysis ning na the amount free ye in charge that Afrobarometer protocol. Ye nton ma government, ye nton ma obia. Na fa hwe won ye. First na ye wo monitoring evaluation minister. They say ye ni bi. Inti we betimi aboa as aban na wo a free evaluation for you. Now they are here, Juma said they are echo. Yeah, social media friend is saying rules. And also, I want to be break, cancel the media Elvis or her, or which me I can't want to be brain. No, so I say, yeah, never be bread. There are two jobs who say social media, so another potent trigger. I see a ye pa, and
or even in talk security issues in Meboa.
Me network you just see.
Okay, now me busa say social media no in talk even in talk na a relationship between the social media and potential conflict.
A potent trigger. So monitor the Uncrofor use social media and as a friend is saying Afrobarometer data now or try to say most of the category of the age group use social media and the youth. And as a friend is saying CDD research or vigilantes most of the age group now involved in political vigilantes are youth. So it tells you the trend of social media usage and category of people who are involved in it. In terms of important areas, one aspect say a ban see the green must know a generic researcher and the brave bass the year Juma as for Maya. We feel so said enough miniama ever seminia adika anamonto na too. See in 2 anamoya and an emergency and I mistake near 2 anamama. We feel say Bibi abitimi.
But Openi, now you busa no na me busa obi to say. Mo Afrobarometer, what did he say? Because I know say bi o say we any gidie wa ban mu corruption mu ye ni we wo fa kwa num asa na mama Elvis ni prof abam because ye na ye nja wo kwan ne
so Afrobarometer bisa for corruption perception bisa started from friend saying lived poverty. Say was sitting mu to saying what is to in fear do me no atwa wo kona are you moving forward? And Niema bisa Niema between ama sitting mu den. One of it is management of the economy. Inti bisa say the effort a buying for bibia ye no wo hwe ya na mo ntu Ghana ye tuo say ye siketa se ne prayer no na it is saying inti so far across Africa in average ni say African countries in anye na Ghana they are stagnated and growth feels na mo ntu enkoye inti ya hwe ya na say corruption ko aye ko no enye na this election no we were very particular about the fight against corruption because the measures we were expecting the establishment of the office of the special prosecutor in addition to organized crime office, in addition to friend is saying cybercrime department he has set up of police headquarters and it's sanima we in idea freedom of information acting in as a personal we're thinking with these structures the fight against corruption is moving forward but unfortunately perception survey was not matching the actual establishment of the structures.
Did the perception survey no say anything about what people wanted to see buying more?
Well, Afrobarometer and go detail bizarre. What do you expect? But what should we do? But the kind of say buying more than now onka. And now don't forget say CDD Ghana Afrobarometer na there were other projects they support. In fact, Corruption Watch, a whole department friend Corruption Watch tracking some of these corruption reported cases. Over in Crawford, they are court be say I report to wrongly in your manema medical centers to any other courts. There are so many things here. In here, the collaborative research findings about Banoso. And a child say, "Ampa, ya hoke kawo fight against corruption, both from the will of the government perspective and the justice delivery system itself. No, if you were kakra.
Me share statistics. 87% of citizens think Ghana is heading in the wrong direction. 87%. Abranti be sending messages. So Afro barometer doesn't mean anything. Pacho, Udiagro. They all share the history of Afro barometer. Every election year, the previous Afro barometer number, you know. 2015 Afro barometer say na for perception say NDC Aban was fighting corruption. Nkofo Bebresi government was not fighting corruption. They even cited examples. Nkofo no money interview no. Ya to abana NDC aluzu. NDC ankasa internal research omo ye say Nkofo Bebre kra edwa aban. NDC nankasa confirming what Afro barometer was saying. But abonte no omo ye guy. Ebia na MPP aban ye koso under MPP. The Afro barometer research shows 87% of citizens say Ghana is going in the wrong direction. When Nana Professor Jobin Kano said this is on this legacy in Baumia campaign. Oh, Baumia is going on 87% of people saying government is going in the wrong direction. To campaign, must consider this. Yes, what I say?
That's the exact thing you've said. You must consider research. And Afro barometer, Transparency International research, Mo Ibrahim research. There's so many data available. A guide you. Me started me call research institution. No, this is me take a crime. But build a consensus. But find out. So I don't do any intervention without baseline data. I don't do that. I don't say me kwako ye adwuma we say border community. Na me sorry ya my co-design me instruments. Na my now say me ye. No. So me ye baseline. Na me who say the issue I say ye pertinent to community no. Sanity. E bi kra sanity, but ye san nkrofo ni hu no. And say oh the wo adwene co-design intervention come out wrongly. As a market yes baby crew baby brain nkrofo nkomu no. Was that the actual venue na person market ne ko? Ye ni nkrofo adwene ho. Enti enye Afro barometer nko asa o ye obi a we leader. Na o dance institution bia no a pempi no. Enti na even as e be impreneur o mo ton product kra no, o mo ye product survey. Na mo rebrand. Na obi yes say opeso ohun say the product or they buy out no. Eno na ye papa and customers pay. Afia mo program ya mo ye. Eje bia utmi city background ohun say program ya me ye. Eno na ye dia enkrofo pay. Mutimi kra enkrofo adwen de ka ho. That's what every leader must do. Adwuma na me ye no decision na me taking no. Is that what the people want? Is that what will uplift the poverty? Is that what will solve some of the problems in the country? And it's a who undermine data, who undermine progress. Yeah. Data there, yes, opiniona onti efutu no sabi odi bibi eko ejabase. The data there a guidance, conclusive. Yeah, obi wow data 7 ton maujia. I'm so you akra wow. As about 70% of your decision making, because decisions should be supported by data.
Yeah. Yo, operi mama na wati bebe na minja o na o timi akofie akwato ebusuafo so de so. Yera nana meta brompa o ye openi kese wo CDD wo ye adwuma election monitoring ni ade nyina o ye adwuma ho pa, especially in terms of security inti yeda na se pass wa boy. In fact, Afro barometer no 77% of Ghanaians say the level of corruption in the country has increased. When you know about me, I will have to answer it too, because I want buying an attendance to 8 years. 77% of Ghanaians are saying that the level of corruption has increased. 87% of citizens say that Ghanaians are heading towards the wrong direction. In fact, CDD report no Krasanka media once say Ghanaians support media watchdog role, but many people all the way to 87% is Omunji media phone. Media phone. Because Professor Jobin Yamechaba and all can media for Nakasa and then politicians here, Juma. We multimedia now, you despite media. And you be at TV3 ne GBC near there. Half of the media now can in politicians na frequencies near media no matter up media house. And if you go inside and you ask them the level of influencer, honest no be a media house is no war on content. And also another conversation we have it all together. Media, Makada that frequency crowd me and Toma politician be about. Sadly, no, that is exactly what is working in Ghana. When your politician cry now, yet send me now kwaji frequency. I am Toma. This is the me kwaji obedient. Me kwaji obedient what over. Elvis Yambra elections ni mwankasa proper. Now you but first and foremost, any comment on CDD research no ana. What's CDD the National University of Ghana for so Dr. Adonfe Center for Social Policy Studies say a lot of research, all their research and so need to me in fact 2020 election night, the night before about today neighbor so many Dr. Adonfe were all the predictions he gave ni nyina ba mu epic mbe lose region way mube lose region way mube win region way ni nyina ba mu. Inti, what do you say about CD the Niambra Parliament Mafia na ekoso wo no ne elections NDC ne MPP for the in general?
Oh, I think sir, research there. What one for research and you juma. To the one kasana send a kan no. They be an catch a man for say. A kroma pa, a cat think tanks pa, or research pa. About elections there CD the back there me GD 100%.
I know, right?
Me share or more records or match every election. Or more about could be or more a month to the election. Omuye bakubi the threat a hifana nipa betu aba and normally no by a month to election na ya omodiba who share na who share sa report na who share exactly the areas are issues so mbeka say and never man for to aba no who be share about to know say all those issues and actually are influencing about to. And in fact, 2020 election year the only institution why year a post-election survey. Me makaya a detail a CDD. Omuye ebisa Ghana for a ban sign and a MPP lose big time. And the one of the things I did make us SSR report we are in this way so taking now reading this. In that report, no, actually, Ghana for Chile say, in fact, NDC message on the by 2020, and yes, and then convince you almost how. Who can see the report now? I can say only 3% of almost responded naturally say that report by the
NDC team, no, like NDC campaign message,
NDC
you know.
message, only 3% they say a change your margin or bathroom. Now, don't do one say MPP and Kazazo MPs no. Omu suban anytime the omu ni omatna and Emma omu change your margin or about one. And who read that report ube who the entire amount for two about in a certain way. And that's why I see the they do omu the report do I mean yabotre eking kind in details so that because me said the omu be a scientific and me kind we are means that a lot of information as to why people voted in a certain direction. To see the report there, in fact, me faith they go cry.
According to our research, no, and NDC campaign no in 2020 was not effective. It was not an effective campaign.
No. The messages per what the respondent said in the CDD report, no message now NDC did buy no. Any about 3% penalty message no sound margin. So mutuma NDC. But don't want to say omutu abetia MPP because of subaya MPs no edid and no mutu about in a certain direction. And for me, it was a very important messaging to both NDC and MPP. As a NDC was a message, you know, Ghana for say ankoye. It is say omu look at their message. MPP so as omu say and perform no what about no Ghana for say omu suban na omu ni omu tina as omu representative no omu na nje ho enti no omu buy 136 and the both parties have huge lessons to learn from that CDD report going into the 2024 elections.
But Elvis, you see that parties that answer from research na NDC campaign omorani say senator MPP almost answer na prof de also it is almost answer. Have they learned any lesson? Osho omo messaging ni omo campaign so far they hu na omo running na they are incorporating research information to it say better na.
Well, the only thing met me they are judging here how their parliamentary primaries went. Osho MPP for the omo 2 na say MPs bebre eluzu omo seat in incumbent MPs. In fact, I think NDC they lost 17 states but incumbent, but MPP I think as much as 28 MPs, incumbent MPs actually lost their their seat, which to me also reflects maybe it's a reflection of the message some of these MPs, probably they take them to the next elections, they may not win. But in terms of actually the messaging, and I make the microphone and kase omutu abano on messaging. What they are here, almost see subaya and microphone dey and anything na yeto abante. It means that subaya be also start subaya na probably will be better changing adwi. In the end, this is the message changing it in a certain way. Not fit into what the people and person mutia. Then it will so both of them have a different wavelength. And so two point also. Now, CD7 out, and obviously, and because we have second term performance of every government in this country. No government ends the second term being popular. And they will go back to all CDD reports. Remember when we say the second term of every government, really, they live on a very bad note. From President Kufuor, President Mahama, all of them, the second term. Their role in second term, we even have to reduce import duties on
Exactly.
and wine. Whenever to the extent that import duties were one and money the poor, any
petrol, how much petrol cross but still.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, President Mahama, so second term, the same thing. And about the second term, what to say, economic wise, the narrative seems to be showing say once you do second term now, we are. What to say, also for as government to be unpopular in the second term there. Already every CDD survey, we say that has been the trend. And for this government there, so what I say with the economic situation, I almost see Nyama really economically and economically from COVID to Russia, Ukraine, one Nyama fuel and then a liter of fuel, which may be a da. Yes, it's really clearly. If you look at the indications, there's no way this government will go into an election being popular and yet possible. And that is what we must all agree on. And that is why Media say about to be abaya what power na your opposition and opposition na abaya power because who na ye de man na share wonsa and expectations are microphone woni nyina agina who abaya what power so opposition there expectation be any omo because omo in charge of the public purse enti say e ma opportunity na betina ban mu a and nipa be brave expectations of the government enti within 2-3 years the man for sure also there be expectations not being met. So you see dissent. Say Nipa Bebre will be disappointed in the government because almost expectations of more on own personal life, working life, bibiano. Obe say and that's some of what I can buying the bano and I'm more better to be one of them abrabo moa. Who sa and one on abrabo into obviously there'll be despondency in the people. And then at in our power and got an increase force don't want person who benefited from government because not buying our power. And they don't want any appointment and I am probably man and share or not dreaming not buying about power when bibiano or no any parties not the for the party. And if any party in parties anytime they are going to election, especially for their second term. Because also first term, okay, man the second term in here. And second term, no, I got 2 years, I can't 1 year, now government 8 years. But still, here I'm saying now the party back power. Now 7 years, 8 years. Now me who any meaningful change. And they are about to me for 2 more opposition. But me to cry in the first place. And the governing parties, they largely lose elections based on apathy within their own party. Because Uber fresh there, the hope is high. But as the years go by, Nanipano or no monsieur or person house they be 7 years, 6 years, oh they be man no monsieur chop person or pay way there. Me give me Abano my disappointed. Me got to opposition. And so me to cry and my
Prof so make it addition to first points now make it and prof now we about say politicians just from research near the at least making input. You wanted to make a point. That's not obvious at all.
If you are menu, yeah, the politicians, you didn't come away, no father for any. O friend is here now catch us say what hunia CDD for there was oh jai omo chom so am ko chom dem no mo didi am no mo chocho nema elections the form the no be catch us menu ya no menu both sides you din komo oh yeah because oh jai my we mo de ba jai don't mind them am ko tete dwuma no mo interview nkrofo me ense bi no ma be ba ye yi on ba be ka ne mo ka onim say one sika na wonya no ye ni sika. Secondly, when him say time no do so he will go and obey petisika. No one can do. And that research na mo can dey bookish crowd too much to them. And na me ba ko kasai. And na ba ka say eh mo party e nko yi o MPP ni. Ah odi mo akote pa na say oh we mo ja mo e do so sika dey obi. Ye na e wo sika mo mo ni sika. As mo ka kire no.
Wow.
Yeah, MPP ni o pani pa. Also wo mo ni sika position for.
Like elections on beche sika.
Yes. Because and anti elections now mo events mo asemo ka just na say mo book for na mo de be am book mo ahwe elections nye social media o asemo ka say elections nye social media o and any events research elections na your form your campaign e wo form asemo ka kire me no anti sa no mo ye no I don't think say they even care about Afro barometer ne ho ahwan no.
Yeah, but Prof, what's your trajectory? So the Afro barometer, the Babanya and Unquampo, but University of Ghana for so a very powerful researcher or a Center for Social Policy. In album in the Omon Fanya, you manage to let your better Banobana Sana because where your market, Bebrese Ghana caught wrong directions about me and team for they will eventually lose. And it happens.
Because a chunk almost side into they will never like it. Say I didn't come side into the yet. Sanke nanka events away hey and they move we knew more 65%. Oh any yeah near Freddy Pani abona baso no more petty radio stations no more keka no more champagne but on side no and the because hey we job book for but a corner side the anke a corner side the anke but sad the city for you know and no sanke encourage you Ghana na ye tiase na enumum inform your friend say how we move forward. Na ye ja politicians for yo 7 no eto baby because yo 7 na ba be ade nafa. So yo 7 na ba be ade nafa. And na o ma any informed opinion bi kura na hey wait don't mind him. Last week me say no ni MP NDC ni bi kura di nkomo o NDC ni atage wo. Ni atage oh wait me ko hu no so te ha say o ni NDC ni okojiska say no kre. And so san ketimi masa nia ayifo yi esidi difo yi eje hini ewo ye politics num so that politics na ba be enye yo the ba be informed opinions and discussions na fe ehoro na fe say Brookings is to America the na bem na fe na sa elections violence ni sa nema no na nyina ye na fe ya cause ai ade no I say football na say football Senegal mo type ama Senegal mo type na ebuga and if football I so scientific say nipa no kura so kwan so do ho ba kopem no sa no say politics ni be ye so scientific ni agidi
but Prof and now campaign so far NDC for the because of opposition to almost started agrowing them so far o ni amo ya isn't it obvious say be almost sua o vision launch ya ba omi aye ya. Is it not also obvious? Almost be from CDD research. He said, Charlie, and Yaman years until you want to give people some promise to be a Ebema or more Akuma, from which is Mahama 24-hour day, or so about Beba check a year first a free Wi-Fi, so also a free Wi-Fi in specific cities. But me also about bay rate if you even Alan Crash about first 2 years. Omuji duty we are duty after second year, and you chat duty no cry. Isn't it obvious that they are taking cue from some of these research and informing that into visions?
They are, but they are almost trickish pa. They are doing a good job, but the end result is not bad. They are going on sloganeerism. Slogans. Omateki a friend say no, cities for report no. And I'm year Juma, but in a very canny and nice and condescending way. Oma who say Nanado was able to rise to power with promises. Slogan. Free SHS. We engineer to trumpet. So and one of to put up a team. We hear the Nanado can ye pa promise of my be brino. Emu de he pa no to me fulfill. Emu de he. But it was able to catch fire and get him to where he needs to be. What I say? Mahama 24 economy okay. So what now a deeper analysis and yet possible. And yet possible. But then some parts of it are possible. But all my can say it be a possible, being possible. On was it holistic. The same way as free SHS. Free SHS equal. Holistic and yet possible. Nobody in Ghana. I think Ghana say MPP new, NDC new, independent tools, CPP. Or be no because if I say free SHS possible holistically. And yet possible.
But it's working across Ghana now. Free SHS working across Ghana.
Oh, now can
Oh, it's working. It's working across Ghana.
And I'm calling now university. Say, university for train clearance.
To admit them.
To admit more than they can add.
Send numbers now.
So is it working? Let me say no. Yeah, they are waiting for government to give them clearance to add more students than the capacity can afford. And see, our public universities here, and why you choked, one professor could have about 1,000 students. Now, let me say, Professor Baku, on 1,000. How is this professor going to be effective? How is it going to be effective? How are these kids going to learn? Among for university education in Nemuni, and you man so it's not as a free education work here. How is it working? Is it working getting people education, good education, and getting them jobs? Is that how it's working?
Okay.
To me, who is that?
Okay.
If it is working there, then people are graduating, getting jobs, and be able to feed their families. But like I said, baby, I touch no. Yeah, use data to inform our decisions. Say, there'll be a bottleneck there, and the bottleneck is there. And to me, no, because Obia Bewa been say, oh, my education behind is good. But yen cut a quote according to our size, and she said, okay, how can we take this incremental, and so biaso? Then say holistically. Until now, I say, Mahama 24 economy no, it's good. Obie ni wa 24 economy year juma baka say oboa year juma because okwa abochira yewo omo first shift unim US asetena e be first shift e be second shift e be third shift meboa na ye de makọ kwa benya hospital say me nkoye third shift 24 economy na ade asa me say me kọ abontia kwa kopa aduane hwe eho esum even manya aduane adi. It means that 24 hours is not working. It is not possible. What can cry and I 24 hours? No, Nipa no go adwuma na do one. Bas ben e adwuma de kwa na do one. So a slogan and ya to apeti because you know say the Ghanaians like sloganeerism. The anti trumpeti and the mayor and amazing. In any case, no, obedi bi da. Na nkofo enima de egu nachi. Mahama obedi president da. We who 24 economy no. I'm managing him now. I'm managing him then.
But since he's saying that he's a new person, a new perspective, and they were cancelled.
Oh, said yeah. Yes, I didn't.
Well, who first? No, but I friend of this average number.
Good. But see, Anka, any slogan. If Kokan say, me and I can 24 economy, but maybe you are, and me yes, sir. And he knows deep down, say, and me yes, sir. Because what can I say? Oh, buses. Yeah, can I see how many? What time now? Sir, buses here, 10 upon. Now, say me call my third shift. Now me call 11 p.m. Now me nika. Now baby, I met your friend say, I wish. How am I going to get a car to Kolebu? Minister can offer Uber. Minister can offer your friend say your public transportation. Yeah, and your papa. 4 buses or the buy. It was he say. And your papa. And you guys are 24 economy now. Any right thinking person or analysis because I did ye church the muye so but men church the then they get grave no too much. I'm coming. Then they get grave no too much. Ebeye meanwhile ade na nye and then metie your friends a program bi o Kumasi. Unum say Kumasi say minim say load shedding say a friend say
Yeah, our power outages na cost no yeah.
say edin yo e ho utimi 24 economy enye adwuma opa anajo fa your friend say Kumasi
Oh,
to
na
Accra.
prof who quite Chimpo Kintampo Road. Me I have seen him. Yeah, gay oh. I mean, now you turn back as somewhere by a man, dum ye young who asem wadum FBC UTV. I mean, now you turn back say Accra Kumasi Road, Nam Roberts. Even Accra Kumasi Road, cry, can you any so?
Enti
The
chechere
are carrying na can you be any so?
chechere mu
Motorway, crass, and in the baby. Ya no can you come de ba ya kan as an omode ba.
na
You know,
only kania we only power supply airport was me 24 economy chechere mu say enye adwuma ne ba bia na be adwuma ba e be start every baby ne ya de akwa ye adwuma ne ya de kwa ne ya de ko so now
the prof, they've also made NDC, to be fair, they've made that point. Saying baby and they will start it in the big cities and then progress it. They've also said that. But my saying I mean because I know you have to go and pick Oba Apple school because I Oba music site recitals ne game ne ade omo fa enu hu the agro Ghana they die
because they are French.
Ai Ghana they die minds. Ghana who no teacher na be copy woman be na be di we jacob na school PTA meeting kra ye woman me pa oma oba no okope ne banchi atoko pen daily bread I say Elvis my musa wa dey was a prof ka say to some extent omudi sa CD the feedback no ashem but that is sloganarian. Is that what you also see?
So entina make as a meno say menyanka electoral commission brand SS sano na enfan shame say 6 months to any general election no obi a contest where your manifesto should be officially out. Say na yebenya mre na ya digest manifesto. See one trick about politics in Ghana is say politicians will hardly avail themselves say your one-on-one interview. Because when them say how and now be push it and beside the hard questions. Anything na ya omukwa brochire then they get you see a brochire journalist na expose you they be a brochire no on kwanya campaign wo ho but o person onya international leverage kakra. You know I already say we yenye me interview. O kotna say the questions ni pimpim na. That was say oh aha de yendru ho e ana ha no uti ase. But in Ghana, politicians, they don't want to avail themselves for you to take them and interview them and push them to the wall. Senior, policy we are also okay. Me, ahani mintias and chichirimuno, Debbie. Obewa kojina platforms. Now I can't. I want to be a bizarre question. They are some we no call or see obey say. But the details now. I see it to me bizarre because I cannot compare platform in this question war. It would be bizarre question be anything. No next campaign platform. No next campaign platform. What you here? But Sanka obetnas now in a bizarre question now. Fine. It is a yenasa opportunity now. And then my manifesto no. Now say obey we are now outline how you are going to do it. Now you redeem ya necessarily you begin to ask the question say. Okay, I am saying no with expert knowledge no any possible. No possible. No yet to me now we are able to interrogate but they will drop the issues at one event or the other. Unya the time to interrogate. It is like a manifesto no ban temwa. Now yet the full meaning of 24-hour economy, the full meaning of how Baumiate or person training 1 million youth in IT. Training Ben now the more. What kind of certification mu yo no mbenya? Omu wi a ehin na o expected the ombenya ejuma. Na yet me interrogate those issues. Nti na anka manifesto no ban temo a. Anka ye benya emre ne a digest. But most of the times no manifesto no 2 months to elections, 6 weeks to elections, a bulky manifesto ne a call launch. And the time I better so would digest your election time they do. And the meaning anka because you can promise everything. It's about the how. It's about the how. 24-hour economy. Only mining companies in Ghana, they work 24-hour in Ghana. Now me the VIP ko Kumasi, me figure and cry 10 o'clock. Me do Kumasi 4 a.m. VIP 24 hours. Utanatema, Adumefetranatema, so many years. On him said GTP, Vaco, all those companies in Tema, they were all doing 24 hours those days. But see, a company doing 24 hours is dependent on what
demand and supply.
Factors be what Nipano company with a 24-hour economy. Any government policy, a demand and supply from the company's products. And if the cost of production minimum and yet too expensive, no, but to me manufacture obey now the cost is average. The nipa to me to not demand or why. Obia be make catch obi say yeah time I kwala no we oba na only GTP a woni to my papa. Say woni GTP those days are woni expensive into media. Those oba bia person only GTP. And there was high demand for GTP. At that time, GTP was doing a lot, 24 hours. But the next GTP was not 24 hours. Demand didn't we are thought made in China, cheaper than GTP. They are demanding one thing. It's also a 24-hour economy. The 24-hour economy is the end product. Near maybe I say we are answer what to me my companies now a 24-hour economy. And then I say catch it. It was it testers. How farmers never tester no about 24-hour economy. A plan ben hour for growing cotton, and then the cotton industry in Ghana is collapsed. Why are we reviving the cotton industry? They revive the cotton industry in India. How do we revive Japan Texas? We were doing the grey bafts. How do we support them to do that? And Sana, GTP and other ATN and Konobenya grey baft no, and they are production. So we catch them so.
Let us say, no, I can't say promising Kwana candidates from there's no plan. Nobody has a plan.
Oh, they all kind of platform into on church the Musa and Kami Bisawi. On church the Musa, but Sanchez the moon never may you say at the end a possible and not any possible. The Baumians are training 1 million youth in IT. Training people in IT there. The question is plan bank. So if 1 year, every year you are training about 250,000. They say, I know a plan bank soon I will be for training some proform. And program ben now they have to amount and share anything. What kind of certification now movie umbenya? That certification movie you might not make me. Then we are can say oh, based on some share by me, they are 1 million you for so training in IT no, and possible and not possible. But on the campaign platform, no on church some never way in them. Or that kind of oh, make 21 million people in youth in IT. Or maybe 24-hour economy, but by themselves. Those things are actually the end product, but maybe must happen, and some of it may achieve that goal. Ultimately,
yeah, but you know, as voters, so what can the voters do? I'm betting me and penny for them. Say, I was some much. You betting me put any BBI case or back and pa obey because then okay say I quite promising will be a promising. Young voters, we don't have any means of checking. Say, you better money power you better and pa obey. Because kind of do they are free SHS, for instance, or kind of what, or call BBC mom, and a BBC Stephen Saka quoted time questions. I feel now for you who cost him out the bay, will it be progressive? And him fan out the back, and not a how do we ensure as a politicians they make it promise to say their Mahamaka 24 hours through can, but me I can make 1 million jobs through can, and I may my duty. How do we ensure some bam power and any slogan? Because now Professor Jobe and Casa, I say, oh, we have a person who cannot be vote.
No, I make you see, near many be what, and I because if we submit media for no, focusing on the issues. They be what citizens Mafia here. But they are focusing na say we are can nya botre nipa ye de o kan ye benya expert bi ma na betre e kwan a say e fa so say na achieve that na sa nipa no sa e kwan de betumi afa so ultimately president na kan yes that time na it was the development stage of the policy. It one granting interview about media or BBC obviously say na do ba o studio no say me free and efia obe bisa na na obenya scan no how much will you cost? Oba also say obe bisa no but in Ghana had here obe can on campaign platform on be face wo media house one on one interview no we bisa the necessity bisa kan no akwenya no no nya but Ghana journalists no nya akwenya no obe bisa anana ade also ye okay ebe cost say and it's gonna be free. Who may be son, maybe son. But the many quite I interview one on one. Now, who's when you're going to be about or quite broaching or commanding one on one. The same question who may be son, maybe son, and the son war.
Yeah. But and who refi this point in Posagana and oh yeah interview now. You better say who journalist who MPP near now NDC near. Because for instance, I'm my interview now, yeah. So a man who say we will be slightly sympathetic to them. I'm my interview, no. It's sad, but this is where it's
yes, and that is not helping them. What they are here, almost politics, but because the honor of Mucho Weshiano, the Alpesa would see no more Mukacha war. What they are here, the Alpesa would see no Mukacha, because wouldn't say, hey, ye for Canisi and the Bubefu. What they are here, but say Ankauma in some trough one, Ed beside the questions are earlier, and I was policy where you can say, but what she say beside Wahano. I will be able to frame it. I will be able to do this. Next time we go face that journalist, not why you're prepared for that question.
Exactly.
And it will shape your policy. What is not a difficult? In fact, the journalists are wow to shape the policy. It will go to a policy where you say, but what is a journalist every time with all that we are doing? I don't think say want to be a young training say you come up with a better policy and conform to. It is sometimes we are watching a friendly journalist going to interviewer. Unfortunately, no, they are not telling you what you want to hear.
Exactly.
And I think that is what politicians must understand. Journalists not supposed to be hard questions. Avail yourself to that journalist. But now the call still so they implementing free SHS. And they look at it so we can take part of oil revenue. I'm reading a report by African Education Watch, and they say that so far 5.7 million children have benefited from free SHS. 5.7 million.
That's a big number.
Other solution say, hey, I am power will be some funding. But everything will be done with money. He has found the money. He has implemented it. The free SHS, he himself one challenges. But bottom line is African education, what they say is almost data stress 5.7 million children are benefiting from free SHS.
And that is a good thing, because without free SHS, then 5.7 million children come coin.
That's the point. It be sound say some ideas to be sack and be a question. Now we win election now after now starting to say, I didn't say but we really didn't start after now funding sources. It is taking longer than normal. Maybe I got 2017, I can be able to be and share here. But me, a question is hitting opposition. They plan as to where they will get the money. It's a mobile being 2017 happened to the you better say because you need to be able to fiscal free. It is so when some trouble be questions are, and yes, or person will go and ask you, but or person will say what to me question and I tell say the outcome is feasible. The way to me and you have to rethink what you are saying. Oh wow! I mean, who the NTR? Even questions from Central for say, we on your friendly media. In fact, we are politicians. You have to go and face media houses, and a journalist go better the way you opposition. Because one you get a better critique of what you are doing. But if you only want to be hearing the and a man for catching me, at the end of the day, your policy may not catch up with the people because if you are questioning now, Central and the person will be sound. If you know Ghana for baby, I dream say, I do also ye. The person is saying that she can obey way. But some answer is Obian can't have them. And Tabana mean too. By the only acquaintance and Obi sound we are now. I go clear the doubt in Obia and say, that's that question when I'm presenting Bizabesiano, watch it, man.
Okay. What around this? I put away how they may a fantastic. Every day be a major who say politicians yes smart. They be a yes and you know be by interview because you set questions. We say a question way. You will never get ahead. I hope they learn. But I'm when we found parliament and send my time now we young parliament. What's an annual year they see your majority side no. A bit uncle focus a see what NDC for side minority no. Time when we have reduced to any muntaka mo every one. And MPP forces say oh my a majority leader Eddie Afenyo Mark Yaba. And this week committee if will be can Afenyo Mark could defend it a sexual abuse victim be omu person use against Afenyo Market say this is neither here nor there, this is bogus. Ghana for was see elevate I do baby and yet the obeti nyina no afa. It's sad about Ghana. I don't know politicians. I don't even blame politicians. Where they are, we have become we are refusing to use our brains to think. And to the point to say, "Uti obi asema wa jedi." Ena when we akoda. Oh, vim oye kronfo. Oh, vim oye krasini. Oh, vim wafa. You won't analyze anything. Uti is Afenyo Market ko defend obia. So in Ghana, Lord, let's say obia is innocent until proven guilty. Lord, Miss Obia or your citizen or on your citizen, every human being, all persons are entitled to legal representation. In the opinion of someone, as a lawyer, I don't even know what the issue is about. But say, I'm passing we're defending Obia. The man he's a lawyer, he has a right to defend anybody until the person is convicted. So for anybody to use this against Afenyo Market is not only frivolous, but it's stupid. I don't know which other word I can use. It's so stupid. And to allow yourself to be fooled by this is gullible. Obianya asema me nya asema me pese ade no kokoto nya lawyer. Na lawyer bejine man na lawyer busa no. Are you guilty or not guilty? Even in court, ukoni ebusa guilty or not guilty no one kasakra. Judge never enter not guilty because you are entitled to a fair trial. A law. Our constitution. And so now we obi ade no mu yi against a. So evidence against a Afenyo Market. That evidence should work even on your MP. But the only people who can remove him and Crawford. I don't know Ghana for I was here because yes, elections way a lot of misinformation. But Bobby didn't try to be Sunni Ade. Ma wenina hona wabusa who say evidence no way. Every day busa evidence. My uncle Parliament I said was it a coup d'etat no me chairman of Bozu free or nana?
Well, who do you from now? Listen and Yamani Koya. Obviously, something went on underhand because Obi Planty story in some newspapers say there will be change in the front of the majority. And the story, no, Eba and Joe is going a press conference or parliament say, Bibi any hosa. Bibi any hosa, and Asana, there is not Omako P. Jubilee House, Echo Share President, according change in parliament. It's clearly no. Somebody was overtaken by events. Some people actually worked on that. Because who said I didn't say I didn't copy a newspaper move first. Crown Sana. Obi said Joe is no move said there is a plan to remove the majority leader. But I see they be because the politicians they are not in tea or massy. Who baby I want to be one and also buy you.
Exactly.
Also buy it is a bit economy to be mra. I don't sometimes they are not interested. Same as about you be a me or casa or parliamentar, meaning a continental parliamentar fibo. Because our understanding of parliamentary procedure, or what being a parliament in Numem, and the Minitian or Cap Parliament or Yana Menage. But I didn't say MPP opposition, who now on a minority leader throughout. Not or the minority leader throughout 8 years. MPP has some power. Why am majority leader for 7 years? And he said, yes, Uncle no Bimbra. Mimi, who did say Danny, even Chima mentioning. Because with all the numbers in parliament, now Uncle with you winning for 7 years, 8 years in opposition, who are a minority leader. Now, for how many years in opposition, why a minority leader? Once I'm the majority leader with a parliamentary affairs ministerial portfolio and leader of government business. Now, after 7 years, you know Bimbra. Sometimes, ocean numbers no more. Me debi ameka. Mudos na muho. Enti anko bibi kakra, anko bisu mbedi.
Yeah.
I don't think they have been unfair to him because for him to hold the position for 7 years as majority leader, I think that is a huge. Now, term of the government not ending, and I think
But Elvis, was the president behind it? Because how Katom Koshia with Jubilee, and I know that there was a meeting in Jubilee. Is the president behind this masterminding of removing chairman sabots? Because media coming said in the president too.
Basically the point is leadership in parliament is determined by the party. Party determine leadership in parliament. And so long as Akufo-Addo is president of Ghana, party be a consultant.
But why should the party determine leadership of parliament though?
But that is what we have done. And even the speaker, Abagbami, clarified by procedure and everything, the parliamentarians alone cannot determine who is leader in the house. And that decision is taken by the party. And Abagbami quoted even standing orders of parliament to support what has happened. And they may know, I think, say, politics in Arabia, Obi Babe two Obi. Now, I think the moment we have a two, the person will be a sponsor. And then there's a two, but also the two will be now also better now.
Yeah.
And they may politics, there's a year will be free, baby. I not mean because it's a party, the party also. Parliament, MPP were currently 136 members, 136 parliamentarians. And the public were a leader for 7 years. The question is why wouldn't others also be given the opportunity to lead? Say that they also get the experience and tomorrow, or not to me they are bois. For me, I think change in leadership in parliament. If I had my way, I can first term, would 4 years, I can also be super to us. You are building a team of leaders that will help. But say the Papa put Tunasu for 7 years, a year. And I don't think me personally, I don't support those kind of things. I think a lot of people in NPP can be leaders of parliament. And they can do the work. So why do we allow one person to lead for that long? Change and let others also have the opportunity to say, you are growing a team, not only a few.
Okay, yeah. But now confess so kasa say we and Nanado boys no dey o mabedi anim afenyo mu nyina kan Nanado mo cruise no ho. Is it not Nanado who is trying to perpetuate himself beyond Baumi aba nyina ase ope ombe yesama sama no.
Debi na ye to abewia say Baumi we ni po any just say apenyo will remain a leader.
Okay.
That's the point in how see every election year we attribute everything to politics. And politics means a lot of things that but I'm saying say for this particular case, no, Nipane is 7 years. And it's 7 years. No, we didn't see Obisube to Aswa. Me personally, I don't think so. Look at how long Apenyo Manke has been in parliament.
Yeah.
Look at how he has made the Efutu seat, which used to be NDC territory, now a strong MPP place. You understand it? The man has also done a lot, and not him alone. There are several people in parliament who can be leaders, majority leaders in parliament. So why do we say Nipa Baku? For 7 years, Onkono Bisubedi better 9 months or something at Tuabano. We have to say Nipano is not being treated well. The other question is, what about many MPs who have been in parliament, or MP before, or mono minister, or money BND, or money appointment be almost now for 7 years, Nanipa Bakoya or leader for 7 years. How fair has the system been to those people as well?
Okay.
Almost how fair have you been to them?
But just before I make a quick one, are you able to say whenever we need and whenever we need this election at this time? Can you say?
No, me, Makase is just unrealistic to predict an election around this time. The best time to predict an election for me is 3 months to the elections. Then I can really say way can win or way can win. Okay. But if in February you are saying somebody will win now, it's a long time. Oh, it's a long time to though it's 8-9 months. I can tell you say never be brave to me in 8-9 months. I bet so be adjuni. Ebia messages now. Baumi ade beba no ebe change obi adwene. Ebia Mahama the other beba no ebe change obi adwene. It is for now no see by June July no na ya exhausting all the messages of Omodiaba. Then there some few analysis to show say this one probably ain't feasible, this is feasible. Then you begin to congregate to realize that no, the potential of this person gaining advantage is higher. And two things I always will look out for. The EIU report, that is the last month to elections, and the CDD last survey they do before elections, and then the issues in the system. So me, I normally will begin to say the election may go this way 3 months to the elections. But for February, now the say about in 9 months, we need as we speak there. I really don't do that because me from now to election time can change a lot of things.
Yeah.
Decisions may be taken actions may be taken can be to advantage or disadvantage of somebody.
Yeah.
And I think
and I stand down so cry bebem last minute the obi be kwa akoye okay 2020 election last minute na kwa drop it and another video say oh no or GCK bi okuta brown envelope last minute no one drop it say miss be omu video yi na last minute there will be so many things that
and what is going to happen?
They'll release it in the last minute, yeah.
And for me, right now, no, Obi predicting who will win an election after me, I'll say that it's too early. But if I got 3 months to election now, Bisanya, let me catch or say it's going this direction. But after I've always said, me, Bisanya in every election, they see the opposition is leading against the government because the whole nation's resources are by their control.
Exactly.
And many people who are not happy with their life, it is their sentiment is against government. Because who now do or minus or my scan in a crowd? It is a baby. My brother, the easiest person I will blame is government, not opposition.
Okay.
It's something that every government must realize. I always tell people, you must understand, goodwill will bring you to power, but perception will send you to opposition. Goodwill, power, but perception, opposition. And a politician, you must learn this. The one that here, perception service. I say who are being be very careful of perception service because the edible opposition is a perception. I know. A lot sometimes you lose an election on perception not because it's real, but perception because you didn't really tackle the perception well. The perception is something every politician must be very careful of. It's so send you to opposition. But goodwill is what will bring you to power. And let's understand that it's important for every politician to pay attention to the perception and goodwill. Which one is going in your favor? Look at it. Which one is not going? How do you do to address what's not going in your favor? Be very particular about it. And that is what the surveys always tell you. All the surveys are largely about perception. So how are you reacting to the perception service? What are you doing to actually
change the perception? No, I'm just doing me. Running mate issue. I think maybe either say Wednesday and next week we have to do the running mate issue because me starting on now by me starting we're looking at the election numbers region by region there and one thing that you pick up from central region that even Professor Jenano Pokwadma as running mate for NDC could not push NDC in central region. Another won the presidential in central region. So that is one of the areas I was saying NDC should do their homework. So we'll look at running mate, next time running mate,
in the those along the coast, you lose election when things don't go well for fisher folks. Who study elections in the coast are any year we complain more about and premix no politicians are hijacking because see, those are the coast, their livelihood is largely dependent on the sea. And if you want to win election along the coast, making sure the issues about fishing, you address it well. And it doesn't matter whether the candidate come from there. If you come from there, now you are not handling the issues of premise fuel and issues about fishing. Now, all the coastal regions, you are likely to lose it. And that's what the politicians must pay attention to.
Next week, and we'll look at even Wednesday class opportunity. I will look at it's NDC going for Prof. J Nano Pokwadma or another person because people like Pobuatemo has said NDC on target a running mate from Ashanti region because that's the battleground. The Soswa numbers may fear Ashanti region, and the way Ashanti region for a giant MPP for Kakrano, they can capitalize on that with Alan on the side. We'll look at that one next week. And then we'll also look at MPP. Will it be first Dr. Duchum? And I said, will it be Napo? Or will it be, I've heard in crime for no more press conference this week, UTV Kavaye. They were saying they need a gun running mate. I have said this, maybe it's not my maybe can't say in crime after Alajete, any Professor Michael Kwe. We haven't had any gun man. Why you are rising to the big office, national office. And it will be good to see in Ukraine as running mate or even a presidential candidate. I even says Natoshi being a woman and a gun. And I said Henry Cote. Now go for a year, me say me you no, but and California press conference, so we are Gadangbe person I'm saying Boba. So we look at all that and whether say in Cranio or Fantino or Ashanti region a northern person, how does that play into it? So because Rollins the time only a Southerners, but they won the elections. The two of them were all from the south. They won the elections. Is it the south or is it north south? We look at all that. Into my man, thank you so much. When you tell we but you always find your sister very worthy of your time to spend with me all the time, and I'm very grateful. Me that's why. Me that's why. Me boss so that. Me boss Doctor Father Dix will feel you pant. I know I bet you know why.
Matri.
So fire no all cylinders be heavy. That's it. Many of them are Elvis Darko, any attending canon, sharing his thoughts or experienced journalists are watching where do many understand the issues, not channel. Elections now, there's a CIA to meet you will be October, you bet me at you. October, even September, you bet me at you. But right now, but the air canning now for say a ball and fire. Yeah, contest it. You offer be anywhere or contest it into one our party room. Who we need our say, who lose our say, but wait, yeah, the air canoe. As we do all the time in election, people don't listen. Classic example, I'll be kind of Nancy, Canada, Japan, Alan, Baumia primary. We said it's Alan Kikaho, Alan Federation went here, and Omoya and Mafia, because Mafia there. Parliament, crown Omoya Mafia, in coffee. Party for Momoya Mafia, parliamentary election, they will mafia you and remove you. They will mafia you. In the mafia, and they would cry, you must dream about the mafia, and you must be proactive against the mafia. Why now condemn na maybe Jimmy post the first and you use Suliama was why shepa. And you will see all that and next week we'll look at the running mate issue no and Eben Bafo Kano Kufuor Aliu Mahama, it was north south Nanado north south Mahama by Mahama ne Professor Jena no pokwa my they are all north south okay the north south. And see, this is the trend from Rollins time now. Rollins southness. From that time in Kufuor time now, bear northern southern to see northern southern and a pay solution. We don't care where the person is coming from in Ghana. Or you'll be a bad boy and never boy. Let us say you know not to say and my analysis in anti-fat na your part a campaign and my part. But listen to something I said when we can 2019 2019 I can't say same way. My man producer Mr. Kojo Hansen DJ All Black and DOP Adibedi akon. Ba the TSM we make aware that ben 2019 and I make about Baumia say Baumia na be win. Omo ye me fine. NDC for year me more. NPP for omo ni Baumia come year me more. Baumia come before so fire the career campaign although me come mobia is the reality me say them reading no na ma catch them. Eventually we are sitting here, Baumia has won the prime because homework and then this is what I said in 2019.
Me say there is no candidate in MPP that can match a president Mahama than Baumia. Say MPP ye mistake. Na election petition we kojo. Na say the mamo and I am from mamo. Na say Supreme Court kasi yango twa babio. And they cried at more. But the Supreme Court, the Mamma, they said the 2012 Supreme Court, the Mamma, say, Mamma, Diwadi, Jabaumia, Brofun, one of better. So, Baumia got told me. But there's been quadruplication, triplication, double, Togo for already Baumia Kokikan Brofu on the face of the pink sheet. My lord, you and I were not there. Baumia, Baumia. Why ye be wagana ha papa? Sa brofo Baumia koki kaye nyina masa. Ko to no buano kram se ba for asem so. They gave them say Mahama kokko tena jubilee. Do hini. Enjoy Mahama di wo hinio. Mahadi wo hinio. Mahama di wo hinio. Di wo hinio. Na do 2020 dia Mahama be say assistant. No. Now the beautiful thing I like about NDC story no the Supreme Court nko say NDC ti abonti no mko ka so o ma win. O mu do court o mu say obi en win. Young call second round. As I do quarter, you go see your size. One until I'm about to go back voice chair no. 22 already I took back the years I do when you the baby quick. I see I don't could you also every you see your size? We should take your temperature. Not say you can take no my lord. The baptism of fire there. I've gotten it pa. No idiots can go to court. Master. Even magistrate.
It's the way 2020. I think this is what I said in 2020 I think that was even 2017. 2017, Omoko election petition, and 2018, I can't start same way. And Omoye, I say, yes, and a year can, but Utia, a bebo. Many of us in this is what we do for a living. The analysis now be fun and a bebo. You do about 20 a year now. Polling station, decide on what you want. Again, this is what and Alan, a campaign now. Alan about game you say and I like it because I just say Alan last week. Fire near the man Alan, he's listening. Last week, man, if it means he's listening. They say, what yes, him.
It will become a free port. You be creating a free port enclave. What I say, just Africa ha ana we are seeing no man do na Africa no. Be so omo cargo e be fa say na say a free port. So say nyina no yakwa yesi e ko Dubai. If you see a Singapore, it will be cry, you can't identify if you say a free port. I know I one of the commitments are name my say ready or man anymore. You be creating a free port enclave at Waterman. No, a bema shipping lines no to go na a do many bachelor a Tema port.
And Alan there no, and Alan also can't trade as he is knowledgeable in trade. Freeport enclave no, because under President Kufuor created trade free zones enclave whatever. So why you be that under President Kufuor into your can? It's likely say also believing on the all can. But say you are gonna for better Obama without that MPP for a political vehicle no, and also another homework. I was say Alan. They say and he must continue. He must be consistent from here. He must be consistent from here. Man, yeah, way this week now, and next week, may next 2 weeks, may next 3 weeks, may fire. This is what we want to see. And this is Ibaomia today.
The leadership of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has paid special attention to digitalization. This has been actively supported by various government institutions and regulators as part of the broader Ghana digitalization agenda to advance digital transformation. It is no coincidence that this upcoming summit has been dubbed 3I Africa Summit. That's innovation, investment, and impact. This has
okay, this is Baumia on his usual digitization. Now, all can say the digitization in Ghana. Now, endocrine effect on the African continent. I say, oh, digitization in there. Makacham say, that is a good policy. And he must consistently you can't do anything. You are sitting in digital. It will pompo, you must digital. And it will be out to me will be a digital world. Yako AI. Everything has changed to digital. And Tia Mahama on his campaign a year, or can say no, or the Wi-Fi become crack is where Dubai for ye, Singapore for ye, who could Dubai more like Wi-Fi or Ghana airport and how do your Wi-Fi be anywhere? Abroche be Biaudu airport, you can easily connect to the Wi-Fi and call Obi. So Medru Mumbe family. Ghana airport Wi-Fi near mobile connected pepe as well near man. And this is what Mahama is talking about. So he's going to create Wi-Fi zones in cities, you know.
As part of our education policy, we're going to make sure that all secondary and tertiary educational institutions have what we call a Wi-Fi zone. And if you know NDC, we don't promise what we can do. We will make sure every public tertiary institution, secondary institution has a Wi-Fi zone. And so if you have to do your work and you have your laptop or your tablet, if you go there, you can connect to the Wi-Fi and do your homework, do whatever you have to do, and then you can submit your work to your lectures. And so I just want to assure you that NDC has expanded education more than any other government in history. And we're going to continue to do that because the livelihood of our children depend on it.
Thank you so much. And I'm joining show no edema. This what you're and top connect I will send this ikefi abroche baby Europe or America or Canada or wom na kodu abusuani no until you don't need say afa na oba be frɛ afa na kwagye ne ha fa trotro fa okada there be top connect or they just download the app and send the money ugbo hu ani say akwakoduru am Bijou Homes if next Wednesday remember mo big yin nkofo bebre so mo pedan ni bi ato Bijou Homes dan ni bi ato especially abroche for now show you men physical nkomo abusuani so nkoto asase ma anon kosi dan be man so be na abusuafo no problem but Bijou Homes for ton dan o masi 50 dada ntu betu anya afa na kobra ba ha boy ne ubeba na yesi plot no there be e dey am obi there be esi dan ni bi 50 1 bedroom 2 bedroom 3 bedroom asase wo ho abetimi dey extension Bijou Homes memo obi andada o next week memo omo number no na wa from na oni omo edi nkomo tua na kakra sika o de ma guest e wo Ghana wo di tua nka by now nso ye household na wo di bi ye friends Airbnb eno kra be mo otumi akọ anim dan say wo betena na wo di sika na ye fine boy girlfriend asem obi wig your turn every week kra betimi dey isusu atodan amane ayeye o ti ase perfect man eso support ya mo na tiesie mema ho pam mema ntade head to toe na perfect man na tiesie ni pani nyina ho autum say yes we dey obere gina ne naso o gina ne naso a chese enye asem kito akra ntia na mo nyina mo asese na mo joining program de maye ye ma me Margaret Safo ono ton ade agape traditional agape oton Ghana for entade entoma de we say de ye friends de duwe fashion e wo dance ma ono pimpam African wear duwe e wo dance ma but ye ma me agape tradition on the ukwa ne hono or a friends Maryland hono baby and Virginia okay me ba no aba be chechi mu or ton African wear ni ade na agape traditional agape traditional or shop or ton African wear ye ma me Margaret Safo ye ntia obebre because we supportive of your cause no ne de ye bibia de bia so hwe e jabusa fo ya na mu nyina ma se yakopon ya adma next week ye be share good night.